Good
Hello
day.
and welcome back to ESA Playday 3. We're on Group D today, and I'm joined once again by Bozmax.
Yes, good evening, Nash. Nice to meet you again.
I did introduce it as Playday 3. It's nice to see you as well. But it is technically, if some people want to consider it to be Playday 2, as Playday 1 was abruptly interrupted by the fact that the Ubisoft servers were having a bit of a mental breakdown. So we're kind of missing Playday 1, but that's going to be played on Saturday. So tune in then to see those games that are going to be ongoing. We're going to be seeing Eagle Empire versus LDL on Saturday, alongside a few more. So if you're interested in any of those, be sure to be there or be square. Who
Uh,
knows? But if
that's
you'd like
not
to
this.
run us through
Yeah, that's not
with,
this Saturday. So, maybe it's
yeah.
next week, actually, but,
Oh, is it next week Saturday?
I believe it's next week, I believe so.
Ah,
I believe so.
well,
That's the day the plan is.
either way, if you'd like to run us through the games that we're going to be seeing today,
Yeah. So
we'll have a little gander into what we think is going to happen.
yeah, so our beautiful little schedule here, like right on our desk, right below us. As you can see, we're going to be starting out with Entropy Gaming versus LDL, which in short stands for Linux Defense League. Something I also learned in the only like after the second play week of this competition. After this, we will have the second game, which is going to be EOS versus Eagle Empire, and then later we have Mafia Squad versus Zach Gaming. So three beautiful games today. And yeah, like especially since we've only seen one play day of these teams so far, it's a bit hard to say like how these teams can really, what they can really do against each other, how they will compete against each other. So I'm very excited to see these teams play.
Well, with this group in particular, I am a little biased, but we'll quickly run to the standings and take a look at what's going on and how the one Playday that has taken place actually went. We had Eagle Empire versus Zach Gaming on Playday 2. And obviously, as you can see, we've got 7-5 in favour of Zach Gaming. We also had EOS versus Linux Defense League, which ended at a 7-4 scoreline in
Yeah.
favour of LDL, alongside the final game, which is Mafia versus Entropy, which ended in a very convincing 7-1.
Yeah, indeed. So yeah, so like the standings, like they could still use a bit of an update, especially since the match is still to be caught up. But after today, it will start to take a bit more of a shape, like for pretty much all at least group C it is that we saw on Monday. That one is already finished all the way up to week 3, so that one's already starting to take a really, really nice shape. But this one will only have a second play day done after today. And we'll just have like the first bit of baby steps in the right directions, where you might see a little bit of a direction of where the teams will be going. But yeah, still a lot of things to be happening for this group. Yeah, let's just talk about this first match for today. Yeah, like we have Entropy Gaming versus LDL. Let's just quickly take a look at the map bans for this first match of today to see on which map we're actually going to be playing. And well, it seems like we're going to Clubhouse, Nash. Clubhouse, one of the more played maps in this competition. I mean, I think a Siege in general, I think it's a very common map to be played on.
Yeah,
Um,
very much one of your big four that kind of
yeah.
generally consist. At the moment, the big four has kind of pivoted a bit with Villa coming out of the rotation and Nighthaven coming in, alongside the Consulate rework. So there's a bit of change into what is normally played in those
Hmm.
situations. But the big four at the moment tend to consist of that Clubhouse, Cafe, Oregon, and Chalet. And Sky is kind of weaseling its way into the mix.
Yeah.
But at the moment, Clubhouse is definitely the biggest, and it's one of those that you see played so frequently and so often by a lot of these teams. So
Yeah.
you're probably going to be very expectant for these teams to be aware and ready to be able to do anything that really comes into place from the enemy team.
Yeah, indeed. Like Clubhouse is one of the maps we have seen it a total of 4 times so far, while like other maps like Nighthaven Labs and Border, we haven't seen it at all. But luckily, it's also not as much played as Oregon, which has already been picked 7 times during this competition, and we're only in week 3. So that just really tells how much we're seeing Oregon and how much how many teams favor that map. But for today, I'm happy that I mean it was almost there. It wasn't the top 3 of this map pick here of this map ban progress, but luckily it has been taken out, and we're just going to a little bit lesser boring, a lesser common map, which is Clubhouse, which I'm very happy with. Well, one of the things that actually could help us and give a little bit more information about what this map could mean for the leave, but yes, it was a mistake. But I think one of the things we can bring up is actually the team cards, because on the team cards we do have a bit of information from the teams, like their lineups and also I believe their best and worst maps. So I think that's one we can quickly bring up here. If OPL wants to load it for us, there we go. So I believe the win rate is 0%. That's, I mean, yeah, of course, Entropy Gaming lost their first match. So yeah, that's indeed a very accurate number, but we can actually see the best map is Bank, the worst map is Cafe. But I think also these stats might not be fully accurate as they only played one map either way. So it's a bit hard to say what these stats really mean for these teams.
Yeah, placement's heavily based on round difference at the moment as one game has been played. So the top three and the bottom three are very much placed on that round difference alone. You've got the side of Linux Defense League consisting of AXC, Badisberry, Elise. I'm not going to try. Blame, Madrino, Mud, Gardino, and Yes May.
Yes.
So pretty strong team, pretty strong roster. A lot of players that we recognise and are familiar with in this roster as a whole. And as you can see, they have a total win rate of 100%. The round difference alone of that extra 3 that they have that they have given to the enemy team in their previous match has put them in second place compared to Mafia Gaming, who won 7-1. Here we are. It looks like the game is going to be going underway fairly shortly. Would you like to run us through the attack commands?
Yeah, sure. Once the attack banks are coming on, I would love to take a look at them, and I'm very curious to see what operators we will be seeing being banned. Because so far, like if we take a little look here at the transfer ESA Cup, Ying is by far the most banned operator at the moment. Where like for a very long time it used to be Nuck to be the most banned operator. We're now seeing Ying as by far the most. More than 50% of the times we're seeing Ying leave the game. Just like Yes May is leaving the game. I hope that player will return in time. So we're just going to continue and hoping that the person
Game's not even started, and we've got a rage quit.
Yeah, so I just hope the player just having like a little issue there and will be able to rejoin in time. For now, the first operator ban is going to be Oza.
Yeah, relatively expected. One of those that you see playing outside that breach and things like that. Just a general nuisance.
Yeah, also like a pretty common bans. This will be her third time to be banned during this competition. I mean, she can be very strong, especially played in the right way. Did the timer pause or did just the feed for me pause for some reason? Oh, it did pause for me for some reason. Let me just quickly.
Okay, well, Monty was the attacker man to follow, and that's very good for your sort of rafters hold, things like that. So more than likely we'll be seeing an Azami taken off the table by a similar team, if not by maybe the Fenrir to follow, but Solace goes out as she is one of the most powerful operators at the moment in competitive Siege. So they've taken her off the board instead, which is a little questionable considering if Azami or Fenrir are still on side, they could definitely pose a threat to this Monty, and Capcan is going to be the final defender ban to follow along that Solace. And I think that because now Monty's off the cards, and you still have that Azami, you still have that Fenrir on side, this Rafters hold is going to be insanely hard for either of these teams to really contest against. And that could really be the difference maker, especially when it comes to the CC site, which has become very attacker-sided with the new operator introductions of, as I said, Azami and Fenrir. That sort of combination has become a very big threat.
Yeah, so quick apology to our viewers. Apparently, the music that was playing in the background was still playing during our introduction and playing very loud, apparently, even. So it was a bit difficult to hear us, but hopefully this should be fixed by now. And yeah, this should be meaning good things that the people can finally hear us now properly. So yes, let's go with this match with Entropy Gaming here on the defense. They're starting out as Team Blue. And for the first round of this match, we're going to Master Bedroom and the Gym room, which is always a very interesting bomb site. I always really love this one. It's kind of like the layer by layer defensive strategy, where a lot of teams really tend to extend all the way towards cache and CCTV, and that way they can really waste the time from the attacking team and fall back slowly, layer by layer, and really use the time optimally to have as little time remaining for the attacking team to really do some damage on the bomb site itself.
Yeah, definitely the case, and we see a man get slammed very, very early, as I don't even know what happened there, but it looks like he possibly died through that construction window. Oh, it was through construction wall.
Wow.
As they have left it soft and it was pre-fired off spawn, and it leaves Brisk with a very free kill. They don't need to use that Thatcher grenade on the wall just yet, but it looks like it was tricked, potentially, or like just removed, I guess. Maybe shot out. I don't know. But I heard a breaking sound of a Selma charge right there. They're going to be opening up this construction wall with the Ash charge. That's going to be very, very nice. We're dealing with this mirror window and trying to get some nades in there and see if they can clear out logistics.
Yeah, and as the first minute is now progressed, the attackers are starting to make their way towards the building just a little bit more. I believe that construction, the jacuzzi wall already has been opened up. Yes, it has been opened up, which gives a nice new line of sight and entry point for the offensive team, getting a nice line of sight into the building itself. But it's Clow getting their first kill on Madrino, taking out the sledge as well. We're now back to an equal man count of a 4 versus 4, where we now going to the last 1.5 minute with Galheid getting a kill on Liaxil, on Axi, bringing the men advantage to Entropy.
Thermite's already in breach. Yes, mate, going to be trying to get the aggression onto the gym, but isn't able to find the frag. Gets cleaned up instead. On the opposite side, we've got Geohite just cleaning up that frag as well, and Ishclow is going to be getting super aggressive on that breach in order to find the final one. And now we're going to be moving into round number 2 with, well, Entropy in the lead, which is not what we expected.
No, like, of course, like Entropy, it's a very well-known team. Like, as a team, as an org, we have seen them being the champion of ESA Cup for 2 times in a row back in season 4 and 5 from I remember, which is last season going to Minions. But yeah, of course, Entropy Gaming, completely new roster, not a single player still remaining from the times of the previous champions. And I mean, this really puts the team up to a challenge, of course, because they still have like a reputation to uphold. And what we have seen so far from them in the past months or so, especially in other competitions, that they haven't been doing too well. They haven't been really living up to that expectation from the name Entropy. But still, they haven't been doing too bad either. And at least seeing them getting this first round looks really promising. And especially after like against a team like LDL, which consists of so many ex-Minion players. Which of course are very good players and very experienced players, and most of them also being the last season champions. I mean, it really shows that they're really up for a big challenge here.
Definitely so. They're going to be opening up the ceiling here inside the armory just to see if they can get themselves an impact trick. More than likely, as they do have those impacts on side on the Azami that is going to be being played over in that armory area. And now we see the mirror being brought once again. She is going to be playing on that bottom floor. Ishklar manages to find one very, very early on that room, as it looks like he managed to get it from the kitchen corridor, as now they're just going to be on the attack, opening up that main door and seeing if they can get a bit of presence onto this first floor.
Yeah, so instead of an Entropy member losing their life very early on, this time it's a member of LDL losing their life very early on, which is even better for Entropy after they already secured their first round. And well, as I'm saying that, it's Ali getting his first kill there on Irklau. That's I'm going to call him from now, Irklau. But that's a touch of the board, and that could be a little bit of a big thing here for the team, because of course that Kaid is still in play, and they don't really have any way to properly deal with him anymore. Especially the hatch on Moto Memorial is going to be extremely strong, extremely difficult to deal with. And with the Kaid just playing there and nothing really to cancel him, that hatch is unlikely to be opened.
Indeed, they're going to be getting that hatch open, but the impact trick is being attempted. They've managed to get both of the impacts off. I don't know if they actually denied it very much. I was quickly sorting out my volume in Discord, but either way, we are just going to be seeing a bit of a stagnation here coming out of the side of LDL. They're going to be standing still and really not really doing a grand amount. They managed to catch one from the hatch by the looks of things onto mute, but overall they're just not really able to get any sort of presence into this site. The motor hatch stays closed, and the only real way they're going to be able to get themselves in here is probably through that kitchen hatch, as we do have players watching every other entryway, and the Kade's there for the crossfire on both.
Yeah, for now, just Magino trying to find a way in from stock as well. Potentially going to drop that hedge, but with that Azami right behind the mirror window, she's in such a strong position, and it will be very difficult for Twitch to make a proper entry. Those smoke grenades will certainly help, and actually she gets the kill there on Nerdy. That's Azami taken care of. Then Yikes gets a kill there on Manzakino. Gal with a kill on Yer, but Eli with a kill there on Yikes, and Axie with a final kill there on God. In a very fast way, this round ends. This time it's going in the favor of Linear's Defense League, LDL, securing their first point as the offensive team, putting the score on 1-1.
Yeah, very well played from the side of LDL to be able to get themselves back into the game after losing out on that opening frag. We do have a timeout coming out of the side of LDL, which is, I think, a little early to be really taking it. But then again, with the way these rounds have gone for them, I think it was gunplay alone that really won them that armory push. And even then, it was a little lackluster from both sides, as it did come down to a 2-2, then a 2-1, and I mean, even that last kill wasn't exactly majorly impressive, but either way, they're going to be taking this time out. More than likely, it's going to be about preserving numbers, being a bit more thorough with the drone capabilities, things like that, just trying to discuss those, because there's two games in Siege. There's the mental game and there's the physical game, and at the moment, I think the physical game is there for both of these teams. Both of these teams are very aware, very capable teams, and I think the mental game is what is really letting down, especially the side of LDL right now.
Yeah, LDL, lots of expectations from that team. Like, so many well-known players on that roster that we have seen like in the previous seasons. While members of Entropy Gaming themselves, I mean, also they are very, very well-known players. Like, we have seen them in the past, but they were also like usually parts of the teams that didn't get as far as some of the other teams. So yeah, in terms of lineup and like what we know of these players, technically Entropy Gaming looks a bit like the weaker team here. But yeah, at the same time, it's a fairly new formed team. Like, if I should just taking a quick look here on Wikipedia, I can just take a quick look on when this team actually formed for Entropy. This new lineup, I believe it's all from, yeah, they only formed on the 28th of July. So it's still a bit of a fairly new team. We have seen them in a few competitions. If I just take a look at their results as well, we can see they have been participating in things like RSX, RBS tournament, and eFuture in the past, where they all haven't really been doing too great per se, like usually getting like about in the top half of the competition. But yeah, for now, they're setting up for ESA Cup again, and this is their moment to really show what they're capable of. Because of course, ESA is in the end basically the competition for console, which is the best of the best teams participating here. So it's the ultimate test and the ultimate stage for them to play at.
It definitely is the case, but in this round now, we are going to be seeing hopefully a different side of the LDL as they are going to be coming into this, because statistically this is supposed to be, as far as I've heard, one of their easiest games. And obviously going 1-1 in the first two rounds, and even your winning round being so sort of close, you're definitely going to be a little questioning, or questioning at least a little bit. We can't find the Mozzie Pest that's just on the floor there in the middle of the door. Probably covered up by client-side debris, which is a bit of a shame. But AXC gets himself in, manages to get a kill down inside of that blue corridor. Brisk soon following up with that kill onto Ishcloud, who's now 4-2 after finding 4 kills in the first 2 rounds. And we're going to be seeing LDL actually set themselves up for this execute here quite swimmingly, as they've managed to get those 2 picks. They've got so much positioning on the top floor, and they've still got a whopping almost 90 seconds to play with. So more than likely, we're going to be seeing them really set this up, really methodically take this, and then get themselves in with still probably around 45 seconds remaining in order to be able to get this execute down and just have the side of Entropy on that back foot.
Yeah, and with just 1 minute remaining, we do see a little bit more engagement happening. Guile getting in a bit of trouble from both sides, but getting finished by the Buck, which is Ellie. Montague also getting a bit of trouble, probably in a gunfight somewhere, but only Nerdy and Naked are the ones left standing for Team Entropy. Nerdy finding one, but then suddenly Axie and Ellie finding one kill each, taking out the final Entropy members and securing the second round for Team LDL, putting the score on 0-2.
Yeah, beautifully executed by the side of LDL, managing to get themselves in there, find the frags necessary. Catching that mirror off guard was a very big play from the Buck, and I think moving into the rest of this game, LDL are going to be very confident, and that is how we have seen them play in many other leagues, even in the last Playday. They're just a very confident and boisterous team. They're very willing to be in your face, and more than likely in an in-person situation where you've got two teams sat opposite each other playing the game, I think they'd be very vocal as well. So hopefully the mental game is a little relieved for them on the back of that round win.
Yeah, indeed. And after we have seen 3 rounds being played, we're going for the full rotation where Entropy is going back to the very first bomb site they played on, which is very understandable because, of course, they played this one as the very first round and they actually managed to win it as well, which, gives them the confidence to just try this one once again. Like, if they do just as good or maybe even a little bit better, they should have a proper chance on beating Team LDL here. But at the same time, LDL did get a little taste of their defensive setup, knows what they're up against, and could have learned from the mistakes that potentially were made. So at the same time, there's a good chance for them to also make a nice comeback here and win this round. So we'll see how things go here for this 4th round of the game.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing this side of LDL just get themselves up onto the roof, more than likely going to be trying to get a bit of pressure onto the side of logistics, as well as trying to clear out that cache side. The Flora is just going to be throwing in those drones to clear out the castle barricades, more than likely throwing them in onto that bedroom window that you see there, and the gym window and door probably a little later into the round, but he also is going to use one to open up this logistics hatch. Madarino finds one onto Nickit with the nade from that main stairs and really just wants to bring the pressure to them. Ace almost falls there as he does get injured on highway, and well, the Echo can't quite get out of the side he wants to try and get that kill, and Nate sings in to try and make sure that he isn't trying to get the follow-up. So yeah, very well played from the side of LPL so far. Obviously, your player going down isn't exactly ideal, but they've got this very aggressive play on this knock on main stairs. She does fall, but she's wasted a lot of time, or she's bought a lot of space, for the side of LPL, and managed to clear out that corridor for as long as she has. So going to be seeing a bit more confidence and a bit more spur-of-the-moment decisions coming out of LDL in the future of this game, I think.
Yeah, and as we now proceeded into the final half of this round, I think that Tekken team is just still mostly setting up. Like, we can see, like, the jacuzzi wall hasn't even been opened up yet. Both Ace and Thatcher are there right now at the moment, so they will make a quick work out of the wall right now. But still, they are a little bit late. There's only 1 minute and 5 seconds remaining, and they need to make some time work. Also, the Ace is very low in HP. Could easily be taken out, could easily lose a gunfight. But if they still make a hurry here, they can still do it and still open up those walls that they need to be opened. Mirror window being dealt with, but Castle going for the big finding blame. It's a 4 versus 3 from now on, 50 seconds remaining.
Nerdy playing that absolutely clinically there. Actually finds one more as well, but 2 go the way of Entropy now, and we're going to be seeing the final player of Eli take the swing onto Jim and get his head taken off by Ishklau, as he has picked up that Echo and managed to find himself 3 more for the round? Maybe 2?
I wouldn't dare to say. I think it was at least 2, or maybe actually you can see it from the replays, perhaps. Beautiful work here from Nanos, our producer for tonight.
Either way, beautifully played from that man. This kill from Nerdy on the breach, managing to find that is going to be absolutely detrimental to the way the rest of that round went. And Ishklau finding that final kill. He managed to find 2 for the round, by the looks of things, because he's now 6-2.
Yeah, and right now it's a 2-2 score again, so Entropy Gaming really proving themselves and proving a lot of people wrong. Like, I was trying to bring up the prediction on OPL, but I guess you can only see it if you cast a vote. So let me just quickly log into my account. But I believe it was also mostly people voting for LDL in this case. Oh, here you actually see it: 79% of the votes going to LDL versus 21 to Entropy, and there were a total of 14 votes. So a lot of people really siding with LDL, but really Entropy showing that they're very capable, that they're not just a lesser version of Entropy that we used from in the past seasons, and that they're worthy of the name as well. So I'm very excited to see Entropy doing so well and better than expected, and I'm very curious to see what they're capable of for the remaining rounds of this match.
Yeah, Entropy coming back with a vengeance now. I'd like to remind everyone they lost 7-1 last Playday against Mafia Squad. So them coming back and being so dominant in some of these rounds that they are actually winning against a team like LDL as well, one of the favourites for this group, I think is very, very good for them here. And I think they're definitely going to be a bit more formidable as the tournament goes on.
Yeah, indeed. I'm very curious to see how things will go from here, because like it's also a question: is Entropy doing? Yeah, that goes the first one already. It's the first opening kill on the offensive side as well. But what I was about to say, like, I'm also very curious to see what this really means. Is like LDL not doing as well as expected, or is Entropy doing way better than expected? I find it a bit hard to say. Might need a few more rounds to fully decide on that. But so far, I'm liking what I'm seeing.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to be very happy if I was on the side of Entropy right here. You can't really be disappointed with this scoreline, especially after the previous Playday against Mafia Gaming. And you're going to be just opening up that window. Ishbal going to be taking the jump out, isn't able to find the shots, and Brisk managing to clean it up with the pistol. You've got to be mad, kicking yourself at that, especially considering the guy wasn't even ready for that gunfight. And
yeah.
I mean, now he's on 1 HP though, so it's not complete end of the world dire situation. So
yeah, I mean,
that
since
cover for the planter on Yesme is going to be a bit more dire.
Yeah, especially since we have seen the Legion buff not so long ago, this might actually be a good thing, because like one Legion mine, maybe two, could take out Blame. I'm not entirely sure how much damage it is again.
100% one.
Yes, like 5 or is it one? How much, one damage initial?
It's 5 damage.
5, right? Yeah, 5. So I think it will be 2 needles will be enough to finish that Thatcher. So it's still very much possible. So I'm very curious to see if we will actually see some Legion mine kills after we haven't seen them for so long.
That's if he's able to remove it before it ticks once.
Now we have the initial damage these days.
Yeah, you've got the initial damage, but if he's not able to remove it before it ticks once,
once,
it could even be one that kills him. But we've got a man on site already. Axie makes his way in, gets the kill onto Nerdy, who's just looking up right now, trying to get those kills onto the windows, potential jump-ins, and it's going to be Johai and Yikes left to clutch out the rest of this round. The first kill going to be coming out from Gilhai as he gets a second onto Axie, and the drop onto the hatch from Brisk is going to be coming down. A triple kill on the round for this man. As he manages to find the round for his team. Entropy up on 3-2 now.
Yeah, as the Germans like to say, sehr geil there, the triple kill from Geiheit. Very nice play from him. Also very, it was such an unfortunate S-charge there from Ali with the reinforcement just happening right before the charge activated. Not even doing a single bit of damage, but still a nice attempt. And yeah, here we see the Echo run out, jump out, ending miserably for himself.
Drop the diffuser.
It was a very unfortunate one.
That's insane. Very well played from Gilhai now. You've got to be so angry on the side of LDL. LDL are going to be really fuming, especially considering Axie just ran past that guy and didn't even turn around. I think is absolutely insane. Very, very well played from the side of Entropy right now. Up 3-2 on this defense. And, I mean, realistically, with this map being generally attacker-sided at the moment, yes, the basement site is super defender-sided, but with this map being generally attacker-sided at the moment, that's insane. Like, coming out with a 3-3 half on the side of this defense for Entropy is going to be the dream situation. If you come out 4-2, you're going to be even happier.
Yeah, indeed. And for now, for the final defensive round of Entropy Gaming, we're going to what's considered the least favorite defensive side on this map these days. But still, like, it's still an old classic. We have seen it for so many times already, and it's very possible to defend it properly. So I'm very curious to see how Entropy Gaming will do on this final defensive round. Will we see the 4-2 roll up, or will we head into an even 3-3 split? We'll see this round.
Well, at the moment, bit of patience coming out from the Ash on the main door. Axie almost finding the frost there as he takes the swing round onto the red stairs. Tries to make his way into stock, but nearly loses his life through the hatch. Nerdy catches his toes a little bit there as he is just going to be throwing that Ash charge at the ceiling and clearing out those bandit charges that are already pre-placed on the wall. Man goes down on the rafters. Yikes is going to be in a bit of a yikes situation, to say the least, as the Ash charge is caught by the one-eye magnet. Ishklau manages to get the clean up onto Eli, and we're going to be seeing a bit of a back and forth here. Axie finds another one to nick it. What are you thinking of this, Bose?
Yeah, the first attackers are already inside and miss C4, unfortunately, here from the benefit, but a very nice attempt by Mandrino with the kill there on Yanks. Brings us to the 4 versus 4, make that a 2 versus 4 as Axie gets a kill. Gets a double kill, I believe. Yeah, got a double kill. Nerdy then with a kill on Mandrino, leaving Nerdy all left standing in this 1 versus 3 situation. Gets one, might get 2, but no, he didn't know about the final player or the one or more player there on the balcony. Very unfortunate for him, but this is around going to the offensive sides there of Team Leonard's Defense League. LDL putting the score on an even 3-3, which will we now go to the roll swap.
That is a very good scoreline on the side of Entropy, though. Not one that you see often nowadays on the side of Clubhouse. That 3-3 split going to be coming out in favour. Well, I say in favour, but in Entropy's stead. So,
attackers need to locate
with this map being generally attacker-sided, as I said, you're going to be seeing a lot of this sort of back and forth, yes, but generally Entropy are now in the driving seat, and it's up to LDL to really take the initiative here and try and take the steering wheel away from them.
Changing mags.
Yeah, indeed, and since we have now seen the roll swap, it's also very curious to see how things will go from this moment on forward, like how well will teams do now they're playing on a different role. Of course, it will take a little bit of time to potentially adjust to this role, but at the same time, it might also just be that one of the roles will just favor them a little bit more than the other. But for now, we're just going first to the basement bomb sites, one of the most favored bomb sites of this map in generally by most of the teams. And with again the KE being in play and not a single EMP nade being brought to the side of Entropy, it might make things a little bit tricky for them to open up certain hatches or walls.
Yeah, this site in particular are argued to be one of 2 of the best sites in the game for the defenders, and I think coming into this matchup, these 2 teams are going to be favouring this, as we have seen from Entropy on their defensive half. We've seen them play very, very well on this site, and I mean, obviously they did have 1 loss, but either way, we are at a 3-3 scoreline, so Entropy can't really be too disappointed. They're going to be seeing what they can do on this attack. They have brought along a very strong lineup for this vertical pressure, and this Buck is going to be a big detrimental factor to the defensive side, as he is going to be making his way in through that corridor by the looks of things. Oh no, actually it's going to be Ram opening up the floor on Kitchen Corridor, and obviously Buck is going to want to come into that kitchen corridor at some point and open up those armory walls.
Yeah, Valkyrie currently playing in launch, actually doing a bit of damage there on Yikes, I believe it was. Yes, some damage done there on Yikes, but still standing her ground, playing there as long as possible, but it's actually not paying off her as Ikao takes the kill there on Madrino. It's the Valkyrie taken care of. Also, we saw the Valkyrie being spotted earlier various times by the IQ, so I guess that's a good play there from the IQ, bringing her to the game. But I believe one defender is still playing upstairs, and this might become a bit of a problem if the attackers decide to ignore it for too long.
Yeah, picking out this K-Claw now as they aren't actually able to clear it because they don't have the utility necessary. They are aware of the Valkyrie that is on side, as they have managed to secure that kill, and potentially aware of the man going to be flying around on those main stairs right now. They're just going to be shooting on that cam and seeing if they can do anything. A bit of a weird visual bug inside of Dirt now, as Nerdy going to be making his way all the way through. He seems to be completely unnoticed here, as he has managed to get himself into the very close side towards site. The what do you call it? The Gone 6 seemingly caught by a magnet there through the barricade, as they are just making their way into the site. They've managed to get a few kills for themselves, but it's going to be a 2v1 now as Kada's just managed to find that kill onto the ram that's going to be rotating around the box in the middle of site. These two players do have control of the diffuser. They are going to be trying to get that down on the opposite side of Armory just to see if they can get this round win. One of them on 1 HP is the Hibana, but she is the one to find the kill. Nickit just stealing it away from the side of LDL right now, bringing us to a 4-3 scoreline.
Yeah, things seem to be getting very close there towards the end of the round, but in the end, still going to be in favor here of the offensive side of Team Entropy. So bringing us to the 4-3 score right now.
Yeah, it's kind of incredible that we have managed to reach this scoreline, considering the favorability that has come into this game. Like, obviously, LDL, as I said at the beginning of the game, is one of the favored teams for this group. They're one of the favorites to come out in that second position, and Entropy are really showing why they should be in that place. And I think this is probably a different side of Entropy that we're going to be seeing throughout the rest of this cup.
Yeah, Entropy really surprising a lot of people here and really making a nice entry into the competition where they really show what they're really capable of. Like, they seem to be really underestimated at first, but they're really showing that they're really worthy and really capable of potentially even making it out of the group section. So I'm very curious to see how they will do throughout the remainder of this competition. But first, it's a 4-3 score. They need 2 more rounds to enter for reach the match point. And so far, they have managed to win their first offensive round.
Indeed, they have. I'm just going to be seeing if they can take it any further. It is 4-3, as we have already established. And, I mean, Entropy, a team that we didn't really expect to be in this position. They are playing very well, 9-5 on Ishklau, who has been a very strong and dominant factor, strong force coming through the game so far. Alongside the side of Jill Height, C4 rings out but doesn't seem true, as it does a lot of damage to Nerdy but doesn't quite find the kill it's looking for inside of that freezer. The Valcam going to be quickly and swiftly dealt with, as that is probably the cause for concern in that regard. No impact's going to be there ready to deny this kitchen hatch at this very moment. Lamai going to be off on his own somewhere in a different location. This Valcam is spotted out but unable to be just gotten rid of as of this very moment. They have managed to open up the floor quite a lot with that round that they did throw in through the window, and Ash going to be just trying to improve that, as they are going to be applying pressure through the hatch now.
The hatch is a strong position from which you can get a very nice line of sight, but that line of sight works in both ways, as Ellie gets a kill there on Yikes. Yikes, that's a nasty kill, but at the same time, it's also the Mira losing her life as well, which now brings us to the 4-4 situation, with 2 members of Entropy being fairly low on HP, Nerdy just being one shot with very little HP, but also Nick is getting a bit of the danger zone. So 2 players who need to be very careful and could lose a gunfight fairly easily, but as long as they're still in play, they can still do any good for the team. But there goes Nick, unfortunately, a 3-4, a 2-4, as Ellie also gets a kill there on Nerdy, and now just Galahad and Ishklau left standing, which Galahad turns this to 2-3.
If there's any players who want in this situation, though, it's going to be Jill Height and Ishklau, as they are just going to be finding almost a second there as the C4 rings out and manages to find that kill. The player already downed on the opposite side, and that's going to be a round equalising us at 4-4 for the side of LDL.
Yeah, very tense and close team between these 2 great teams, and I mean, this is exactly what we want. Like, we want the best of the best teams participating in this competition, and that also should mean that we should get very close games like this one. So this is exactly what we want to see at this point, and I'm just very happy to see like a nice little 4-4 score, which could technically still end as a 7-4 or 4-7, but at least it's already getting way closer than something like a 7-2 or even a 7-0 that we already have seen once or twice in this competition this season.
Yeah, definitely. They are just going to be moving us over to that gym bedroom site after winning out the basement, and well, second time lucky, as they have managed to take it this time around. And as I said, moving us to gym bedroom. Let's hope it's not 50-50 for their sake once again. Otherwise, we're going to be sat at this 5-5 scoreline and have a real big potential for it to go to overtime, which makes both of these teams very uncomfortable because they're going to be really desperately trying to win out these rounds. They really want to try and get this done in regulation in order to favour themselves on the points front. And, well, if you're going to start winning rounds and getting a lead, it's got to be now. So the winner of this round could definitely spell out the rest of this game.
Yeah, indeed, like getting to the 5-4, that is just a very nice position to be in, just one round away from the match points, which both of these teams are looking for now at the moment. And for now, it's Entropy in the offensive side of the game. They kind of decide the pace of this game, and they're making nice work of it. They're already opening up the jacuzzi wall, getting the first line of sight and entry point towards the building. Where also Yax is playing here on the balcony, having that very nice line of sight from where to basically contest the whole hallway.
Yeah, no hyper-aggression coming out of the side of LDL on that breach, as it did on the opposite side, but Twitch nearly losing a life from the stairs there as that wall has been opened. The Mozzie of Eli going to be very, very aggressive, but just going to be dropping back into cash and seeing if he can maintain this position for a little longer without losing his life.
Yeah, indeed, and as we're now approaching the 1 minute 30 mark almost, there's not too much happening yet. Like, yes, various bits of damage being dealt to various players, but not a single player losing his life yet. Lots of drone work still happening, lots of walls being opened, still a lot of control trying to be attempted to be taken. But so far, it's just getting a little bit quiet with Twitch trying to sneak here from the other side of the map. Might find Ellie very, very soon, but no, Ellie is finding the Twitch instead. Finally finding the first kill for the team, bringing us to a 4 versus 5 situation.
Oh no! Ooh. Nearly a kill there found onto Nickett as Eli takes the swing on the highway. Is going to be looking to try and find it once again if he sees an opportunity. But he's a bit unsure about this player on the roof above him. C4 sings out but doesn't find what it's looking for. Now they're just going to be playing that site. They're just going to be playing a little aggressive on the windows for the side of Entropy now as one of them loses their life to a beautiful shot from Madarena. And the player of Geohite coming up the stairs alongside Nerdy now going to be finding 2 for himself as they're just going to be trying to take the rest of this forward. Yikes falls to Axie playing in this red corridor as he does try and run in through the breach. This gym player is going to be a big threat to the rest of this push. Geohite falls to Yesme, and this remaining player inside the bathroom is going to also be a big threat as now Axie falls to low HP, so there's Nerdy, and we're going to be left in this position, this 1v2, where everybody is near enough one shot, and Axie is the one to find the shots.
It is Linus Defense League LDL taking the lead for the first time this match. Am I saying that correctly? Might have been the second, not entirely sure, but at least a 4-5 score, finding themselves 1 round away from the match point, which is a nice position for them to be in.
Definitely is. 5-4 now in favour of LDL. One of these that we probably wouldn't expect after that 3-3 split, but LDL are going to be trying to drive this even further forward, spearheading it into the next round on a bar defense as it goes very well for the side of Entropy on their defensive side.
Yeah, LDL having a similar kind of success as what Entropy was having on their defense. I believe even the amount of round wins and even the order of the round wins is exactly the same as in the first half when Entropy Gaming was defending. I might be wrong, but I think that's still correct up to this round. But yeah, that also means that everything is still very much possible. Also, Entropy just needs 1 more round to equalize things again. And I mean, the 5-5 score, that would be even more beautiful, because that's always a very interesting one, where then the upcoming 2 rounds from that point really mean everything. But for now, it's of course LDL trying to win this round, trying to get to the match points so they can end the match in their favor.
Yeah, the scoreboard will tell us the round order. I'm sure we'll see it at some point. So we will be seeing that at the end. At the moment, we just have to go with what we've got, and that is Honey Brains. So we're going to be seeing Geohite just on that Amaru, probably playing the Amaru more so for the kit than anything else, but Madarino finds one onto Yikes very, very early through this main breach sort of area, by the looks of things, as he's going to be trying to take another swing, but the gridlock inside of the garage, the player rappelling above, is going to lose his life. Nerdy isn't able to find the kill or find the shots, but he takes a swing on the garage, loses his life to nick it, and now we're in a 4v2 situation.
Yeah, the aggressive approach from Entropy not really going the way they were hoping to. They've now found themselves in this 2 versus 4 situation, which is a very good, difficult position for them to be in. But at the same time, 1 kill each will equalize the man count. And as Galahad gets the first kill, he's making a first step, but unfortunately, Ali taking out Galahad, leaving Nickett all left standing in this 1 versus 3, turns it into 1 versus 2, which could become very, very possible for him. He still has loads of time, 1 minute and 35 seconds. The diffuser isn't within reach, so he can easily retrieve it. And with this time, he can just take things a little bit slower, gather information, use his utility, which he still has plenty, and still do loads of work for the team. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Very. Gonna have to use this second nade now to open up that castle barricade. Doesn't quite find what he's looking for, so has to make his way over towards this kitchen corridor. Man. And once again, it is closed as he's going to be just running underneath to see if he can find anything. This Maestro going to be just making himself known inside of this kitchen. There's now Nickett going to be moving over towards the window to see if he can find an engager, opening it up completely as he catches a few shots from that castle inside of bar. Is aware of the Maestro by the sounds of things inside of this kitchen freezer. Just take a bit of damage. Isn't able to find the frag though, as now he's going to be just moving his way through, seeing if he can get any of the peaks he needs. But a beautiful shot from Yesme is able to find that frag, and Nickett falls, giving another round to LDL, bringing us to LDL's match point.
That's match point indeed, meaning that Entropy Gaming needs to win the upcoming 2 rounds to still have a chance to win and score some points in the overtime that will then be initiated. But at the same time, Linear Defense League, out of the upcoming 2 rounds, they only need to win 1 of them, which puts them in a very, very good position, which also still provides a tiny bit of room for error. So Linear Defense League in a good position, which certainly will give them a little bit of a morale boost.
Indeed it will, but Entropy still not out of it just yet. Definitely, with the way they've played, could bring this back and could bring us to a 6-6, potentially take it to overtime, as they are going to be searching for any points imaginable at this point in the game. Once they've made it to this match point situation, it's just a desperate brawl for this contention. And as I said, I've said it a few times in the past, once you get to a certain level, especially in competitive, the skill gap, as much as it may look very different or very distant for a lot of these teams, is very marginal. And when it comes down to a marginal skill gap, you can really see that take place. I think it was... I don't remember. There was a game on yesterday at the Atlanta Major where one of these teams went down 3-6 and came out with an 8-6 victory against the team that was the favourite to win. Actually, finding the first kill on position foul, and a big advantage to the side of LDL coming into this round. Finding to that.
What's happening?
And Madarino just finding another one. It's all spelled disaster for the side of.
Oh my god.
Entropy now, and they really want to come out of this round of the win. Geohite has to ace. Ishklau has already left, knowing that this is over, assuming that this is over. And now we're going to be seeing a bit of a contention brisk with the TK onto Axie. Means he's not going to be able to find the ace, even if it does come down to it. Now, he's going to be trying to take the peaks onto the player that's going to be guarding this diffuser.
Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser.
It doesn't look like anyone is going to be about at this very moment. The Warden going to be over the opposite side towards Strip, going to be just peeking outside of that door to try and find the frag onto Geohite, as he was over there previous, and now going to be making his way down blue.
This is giving me a flashback from last Monday where we also had many people rage quitting in a 1 versus 4 situation. Galahad already turned it to 1 versus 3, and he might still make it, just like what we saw on Monday. He needs to find 3 players. He knows exactly when to find one. With a revolver headshot, he gets the kill there on Galahad. And this way the round and match ends here in the favor of Linear Defense League with a beautiful 7-4 score in their favor.
Yeah, very, very well played from the side of Entropy, especially considering the side of LDL were the favourites, and obviously, yes, they came out with the win, but with how well Entropy played their first half, you've
Yeah.
definitely got to consider them a threat coming into the future games.
Yes, certainly, certainly. They have really shown that they're still capable, that they might still struggle a little bit as a team and might not be as good as the previous Entropy team, but still they have been doing well. They have really shown that they can do it. And even though they didn't really perform as well in the second half when they were playing as the offensive team, they still did fairly well.
Yeah, definitely so. I imagine Entropy definitely could bring themselves further forward in the cup as it unfolds. But obviously, there isn't too many playdays remaining. I think there's only 2 playdays left for each of these groups.
Yeah, I mean, of course, this is like the unique one, which
Yeah,
still
2.
needs to catch up on. So
Yeah,
after this, it
yeah,
will still have 3 play days. So for
yeah.
group
3
three, there's still
playdays.
a lot of things to be done. Like more than half of the games still needs to be played. So a lot of things can still happen up to this point. But Entropy really needs to step up their game if they still want to secure a spot in the top 4, because that's where you need to be if you want to make it into the group into stage 2, the Swiss stage.
Well, after a phenomenal game like that, we are going to be going to a quick short break. You'll be joining us again sometime in the next few minutes or so as we get ready to cast Eagle Empire
EOS.
and, well, versus EOS. So we'll see you soon.
See you soon, guys. Stay there. And welcome back, everyone. After a fairly short break, we're back here for the second game of today, which is going to be EOS versus Eagle Empire. Nash, what do you think of this game?
Well, I'm a little biased.
You are a little biased. Maybe you can
for any
explain
that,
to viewers. Yeah.
Yeah, for any that are unaware, I am the analyst for, well, slash coach some days for the Eagle Empire console team. Basically means I have a little bit of insight towards their strategy, the rosters they're going to be playing with, and just general sort of concepts that they want to try.
Mhm.
However, I have no idea how they're going to perform today. They have a very good roster. I'll put it that way. They have probably their strongest roster of the people they've been trialing so far.
Okay.
But we're a bit unsure about the map they're going to be playing today, as it's not what they wanted. But we have Exia, Kodaft, Armis, Anakino, and I think Elixir playing today. I'm not too
Okay.
sure. But don't know.
I don't know that one.
My Amazon Echo is like bullying me because I said a certain player's name that sounds kind of like hers.
Was it the last one?
No. Let's not say their names again. But yeah, so this is the roster I imagine they're going to be bringing. But we'll have a quick look at the opposite side, and I'll let you run us through who they are and what they're here to do.
So Team EOS, kind of previously known as Penta, like in the previous season, where they then left the Penta organization and were going by the name No Name. They have been picked up by Team EOS, and this is basically their roster. So very familiar names, a very capable team. We have seen them perform fairly well in the past, but they never really tend to get too far. Although we have recently seen them win RBS, I believe they won. So that's one of the other competitions that has been going on, like while we were having like our off time. So they still have been like playing lots of things and actually have been successful, which gives me lots of hopes for the team. So I'm actually very curious to see how they will be doing. So yeah, those are the rosters for this match for today. Yeah, so one of the things we also can quickly show is actually the community vote. That's one of the things that, of course, we do have these days with OPL. So there's also a little request to our viewers. Like before, of course, we used to do our votes in Twitter, which is a little bit more easy for your viewers, but at the same time, it's not as easy to show on the stream. As it just looks great. It looks phenomenal with OPL. It looks beautiful. And if your viewers actually want to cast your votes, go over to OPL, create an account, make sure you're logged in, and then you can actually cast a vote for each of the matches, and then your results will be shown here.
Yeah, do bear in mind, it's
Mhm.
completely free. You can make an account.
It's free.
You don't have to worry about like having to play anything or having to do anything on the actual website itself. You just go to the match page, which is quite often linked in the Discord. And if not, you can always message somebody in the Discord asking what it is, or maybe even ping them. As long as you're not like just harassing people. So we'll quickly cut over to the map bans and we'll see what we're going to be playing today.
Yeah, very curious to see it. And we're actually going to Consulate, one of the newer maps in the map pool. This will be the second time that we will be seeing it here in ESA Cup Season 7. So I'm very excited to see this old map return to the map pool, where we still yet have to see Night Labs in action. But for now, Consulate, that's at least one map that makes me very happy. Much better than Oregon, much better than the Clubhouse, maps that we have seen plenty, or Chalet. So I'm very happy to see something new to the table. So I'm very excited for this match. So yeah.
I'm kind of excited as well. I think I think there's a lot that both of these teams can bring to the table, especially on a map that is as new as the new Consulate rework is. It's almost a completely different map.
Yes.
So we are going to be seeing hopefully a lot from both sides. I do definitely want it to be close because it'll make my review interesting later. And then I just overall think that like this game could go one of two ways. It could be a complete whitewash on either side, or it could be very close, and we could end up seeing another overtime, or an actual overtime game this time around. So we'll have to see how these teams decide to play it, what the strategy's like on both sides, and whether either of these teams are majorly prepared to actually get themselves into the fray.
Sorry, into the what?
Into the fray.
I'm completely unfamiliar with that term.
Like line of fire, basically.
Okay, cool. Okay. Oh, I believe is that. Oh, so apparently they were still waiting for a few players to get in the lobby so we can actually start with this match hopefully soon. So it just gives a little bit more time to talk about this match. Because like if we take a quick look at the prediction, like I said, it was a 73% versus 27% in the favor of Team EOS. It was a total of 11 votes, so the results might not be fully reliable. It might even be mostly players and production staff casting these votes at the moment, as they are usually already locked in and visiting these pages like regularly. But like I said, like I really would love some actually to see a bit more votes from our viewers, as that might provide us a bit more reliable information. Because I can imagine this match will be way closer than the 73 versus 27%.
Do we have a production vote for?
We
today?
do, yes. Like not every single person did fill it in, but we can actually take a quick look and just call like a boo to every member who didn't fill it. But and give a big shout out to everyone who did actually take their time to cast the votes. So okay, yeah, both me, Onyx, both casted for EOS. So that's certainly two people like there on the side of EOS. Where on this page, no one really else. Okay, Nash, of course, Eagle Empire, biased caster, you could say. But then there's Voids, Gasser, and Freddy, all going for EOS. And I believe there's one more page coming after this one where it's actually Nanos actually voting for Eagle Empire. And do we get one more page after this? I'm not entirely sure. We have a quite extensive production crew at the moment. No more pages after this. So it's mostly votes for EOS, but just two for Eagle Empire. So we might just see. I mean, last season we did quite a bit of predictions in the Discord server as well, especially for stage 2 and 3, which we will, I believe, do this season as well. But there were some really interesting votes coming out where sometimes the underdog really tended to win sometimes. So these predictions don't mean anything. Anything can happen, and I'm very curious to see how the match will go.
Well, either way, I think both of these teams definitely are very capable. And after, doing, I'm like 7 reviews deep with Eagle Empire right now. So I've seen genuine gradual improvement. And I think they definitely have a lot to prove and bring to the table in this second match of ESA. And I think their big team to beat inside of this group is going to be LDL. So coming into that Playday 1 game, which is going to be on Saturday the 11th of November, they're going to be trying to be very prepared and, capable when it comes around to actually playing that game. So we'll see how they do today. And obviously I'll be bullying them later for win or lose.
Yeah, I mean, you as a coach, analyst, this is their moment for you, for them to make you proud, of course, or to make you embarrassed even. We'll see how things go, but I'm very curious to see how they will do. Because, of course, Eagle Empire, also a team that we know fairly well, like we have seen in the previous seasons, and where they didn't really do too well generally. But, of course, they now have a complete different roster. There's 2 players from the old roster still there, which I believe were Robson and Zeri. But then there's loads of other players who have joined the team, like some ex-players from Synergy, and I'm not even sure what other teams they came from. But this really showed that Eagle Empire is a bit of a new team, and what we have also seen from different competitions is that they clearly have been doing a bit better than before.
Yeah. It does look like Roos is going to be playing in place of Alex.
Okay.
I'm not going to say his full name because it's just going to set off my Amazon Echo
Oh,
again.
that's the one.
And yeah, so we have Roos who is rostered, I'm pretty sure. If not, he's probably an E-sub. But either way, it's like fairly strong for Eagle Empire. I think this is probably the best roster they could have brought to the table for this game. And I think that when it comes down to the actual game itself, we'll have to really just wait and see sort of who is going to be on the front foot, like who's going to be sort of setting the standard for the rest of the team to follow. Because they do have a couple players that are genuinely able to be star players on the roster. And especially in a lot of their scrims recently, I've seen some real potential coming out of a few of these players. So more than likely, I'd say keep a close eye on their supports because they have been having a few pretty good games relatively recently. So
Okay.
on the side of Eagle Empire, I'm going to be really trying to hope and pray that they are actually able to bring themselves to it.
Yeah, that's actually some good news. And if we take a quick look at at the standings, like I'm seeing here on Wikipedia, both of these teams play one match, of course, so far. And what we can see is that both the teams have lost their very first match. It was Eagle Empire versus Eagle Empire versus Zach, where they lost with a 5-7 score, and EOS with a 7-4 loss against LDL. So both of these teams have yet to score some points, and this is their day. Either of these two teams will get some points, or potentially both if we go to overtime. But this is the moment where we have been waiting for either of these two teams to get some
Indeed it
success in this competition.
We are going to be seeing the ban phase come through. I'll be talking you through the attacker bans, then I'll hand it off to my co-caster to give you the defender bans. This map, very small, very congested. Now they've changed it, so Flora is going to be going off the table as there's a lot of soft walls and potential utility placement that could be a big factor in how this game is played. EOS taking it out first. The next attacker ban, more than likely from the side of Eagle Empire, I imagine they are going to be taking a lot of those intel sort of oriented bans, as that's what they have been doing on these sort of congested maps. And obviously, Jackal is taken off the cards. So
yeah, that one makes so much sense for such a huge map as this one. Like Consulate, Bank are some of those maps where you really tend to see Jackal being played if available. But for this match, we won't see him being played whatsoever. So with the first attacker bans being done, we now will head over to the defensive bans, which the first one is coming off from Eagle Empire. Fenrir, not so big of a surprise, a very common ban these days, especially like it's one of the newest defenders in the game, and tends to be very strong if played well. But for now, we won't see him during this match either. And now it's all up to Team EOS to ban the final defensive player before we can actually start with this match, the second match for today. And it's going to be Mira. So yeah, Mira also very understandable. I think Mira is basically a wildcard, good in every single map, I could say. But for Consulate, I'm not very familiar with any specific strategies where Mira too much involved, but I can imagine she can be very strong on Consulate as well.
I know a specific operator that's going to be very prominent in the EE's lineup during the defensive half, especially. And alongside the attacking half, you're going to be seeing Anakino picking up that Dekebi quite a lot. So I'll keep it to myself until we get onto the defensive side for Eagle Empire. But we were talking about a strategy the other day, and I think it's coming into fruition in this game right now once they actually switch over to that defense.
Yeah, so right now it's EOS starting on the defense with Eagle Empire starting on the offense. And just taking a quick look here on the first defensive round for EOS, where we're going to the basement. I mean, basement always been a fan favorite for this map. One of the strongest bomb sites ever. I mean, like, generally, basement bomb sites are very strong on any map. But yeah, the same goes for this map as well. Bit of an extension towards the top floor, gives some options to defend from above, and also keep it out of the hands from the offensive team, of course, because as long as once the attacking team has control over that, they can make it a living nightmare for players to play on side as well. So it's very important for the defenders to actually keep control over the top floor.
Yeah, on the side of EOS, we do see that Freddie G, who, if you were around for Season 6 of ESA, you will have seen him on the casting corner for a few of those matches, actually. So, a familiar face to us on that side, alongside players like Tiro and Dr. Nesto, who have been around previous as well. So, we'll be expecting a lot from them coming into this game, but the side of Eagle Empire just going to be trying to get that top floor pressure, placing themselves around these skylights and seeing if they can get a bit of contention towards this top of yellow, as we are going to be pushing down into this basement site.
Yeah, indeed. Attack is just trying to find a way to enter the building from. I mean, this is a very big building. There's loads of ways to come from, many different, 3 different levels, and they're absolutely huge. So just, yeah, finding the right place to come from just takes a bit of time. It's like almost like a Fate of Sieski, where just the first minute gets wasted by default, just from approaching and entering the building. And it's exactly what's happening here as well. Eagle Empire just droning, gathering information, and especially without the Jekyll that they did bend themselves, it just takes a bit more time to make the proper entry, and that's then NT gets the first kill. It's it's Russe being taken care of, the Nuck.
Yeah, NT managed to find that first kill, already making himself a bit of a threat on this Oryx. Flashbang comes singing through from that left side, more than likely through the window by the looks of things, as Armis is going to be trying to make his way through on that Ying, unable to find the frag onto the Oryx positioned around those stairs. Tero finds another one of the Kodaf through the floor, and Exia and Anakino are left to pick up the pieces, as now they're going to be approaching towards this yellow. They're going to be making their way down the stairs, seeing if they can contest against this Oryx that has been so formidable so far in this round.
Yeah, indeed. First bit of control here from Anakin, was in a very good position, a very strong position on the hedge, has exactly locked down the Mozzie, was kind of locked in place right there. But with a 5 versus 2 situation, things are difficult for Eagle Empire here to do some proper damage, especially with things are getting better with actually getting a nice little double kill there, taking out both the Oryx and the Frost, bringing things to a 3 versus 2, which makes things a little bit more possible for the team. One more kill to bring things to an even 2 versus 2, and with 25 seconds remaining, they do not have too much time remaining, but it can still make things work here.
Yeah, more than likely this is going to be a hatch drop / stairs rush type situation, as now we do see Anakino making his way over towards those yellow stairs. 15 seconds left on the clock. Exia going to be getting taken out from a C4 vertically from below. Anakino left the marksman standing, trying to take the positioning necessary to take an engagement against one of these players, but gets caught out a little bit by those by that downwards angle, and ends up losing his life. First round going to be going the way of EOS.
I just did a quick check, but apparently I forgot his in-game name right now, but we will see it in a short moment. What's it again? Antin Saft. That's actually the player that we know by the name of Anti. We used to play, for example, like for Team Entropy back in Season 6, perhaps 5 for sure. So actually a very strong player from even like an ex-champion of ESA Cup, like a 2-time champion, I believe. Actually here now playing for Team EOS.
Well, definitely a good pickup for the side of EOS. That sort of experience and leadership is definitely something you're going to be looking for as one of these teams moving forward in the tournament. So we're going to be they're going to be very happy with that. But we are going to be seeing once again this defensive side, well, moving their way up the top floor this time, as they're just going to be setting up that shield by long desk just to be able to play that corridor facing towards admin if it need to be. More than likely going to be positioning himself around that long desk more prominently throughout this round.
Attacker's objective is to
Excuse me. Well, that went well. Okay, just as I was about to talk, I swallowed him. I almost suffocated in my own Spotify. But hey, here we go. Yeah, second round now approaching. Just Anti already waiting for the first players to enter. Here's the barricade being opened up by the Buck, I believe. Yeah, that's the Buck. That must be Kodeft, who's already entering the building. this might go horribly wrong for the side of Eagle Empire if they don't spot the pulse just sneaking around here. The drones are heading this way, but he might have just avoided that drone just in time. They could have potentially seen him under the table, but in the end, no, I think he successfully passed the drone and might go for a little very sneaky surprise attack here on the Buck, who's still waiting outside, still droning for the team, and he's just getting closer and closer. We'll get to find the Buck anytime soon. He runs outside, finds one, finds two! A huge run here from Anti, taking out two players on the side of Eagle Empire. Amis and Kodaf both taken care of. Then a nice little refrag here from Russe, stopping the killing spree, bringing things to 4 versus 3.
Yeah, Anakin now making his way into that Visa side as well now, as he wants to try and make his way up those stairs. Hole's going to be wandering around that first floor, seeing if he can maybe find a vertical nade onto one of these players, just listening around for those footsteps. And Anakin getting pre-fired a little bit by Lennox as he is just standing around at the bottom of those stairs. Exia is still unknown though.
Sorry?
Exia is still unknown of his position though. You're going to be hovering around admin by the looks of things.
Yeah, it was just 1 minute and 20 seconds. It's still the defensive side here in the favor, but 1 kill is all that's needed for the side of Eagle Empire to turn things to an equal side. But that Goyo canister there, just right by the doorway, puts Lennox in a very strong position to hold back the offensive side quite well. But with the logical coming out from the Dokkaebi, things might just get a little bit more favorable here for the offensive side, and as they will be able to find the defenders a little bit more easily. But the Goyo canisters are being popped as we proceed to the very last minute. More and more time is happening here from the sides, but a nade from below from Rusted takes out Nesso, equalizes the main count, a 3 versus 3 with 45 seconds remaining.
No calls in pocket for the Dokkaebi of Anakino, and he is going to have to try and make his way up these stairs. Basically blind, no information, no calls remaining. The proning player going to be over on that long desk area as Rusa is going to be trying to make his way through, but decides to break open that window and just be a little bit evasive, as it looks like Tiro is able to find 2 for himself very, very quickly in that short succession, managing to win out the round for his team, and we're going to be moving forward 2-0 now on the side of EOS.
Indeed, it's 2-0 here in the favor of Team EOS with a beautiful run out here from Anti. Just a beautiful highlight here of the round start for this match here, for the second round here. Just a beautiful way to just set the tone for a round and really catch Eagle Empire off guard.
Also 4-0 on Tiro's KD.
That's really nice indeed. 2 players in total with 4 kills each. NT and Tiro doing a great job for the team. Of course, NT losing his life twice, but still, still doing well and giving a nice contribution to the team.
Definitely so. Drone already down on the side of Eagle Empire. They are down that 1 drone, which is gonna
10 seconds left.
not really bode very well for them, as I mean, they're a very information-heavy team. They're a team that very much orient themselves around maintaining control of the information when they are in the lead. So we'll be seeing how that affects them throughout the rest of this game. Anakino switching off onto that Thinker.
Potential spawn peek here happening from Tyro. We're just waiting for any player to expose himself. I don't see anyone here from the observer view. No highlights around any players in the area, so you might not find anyone. He's just waiting patiently, but so far I don't think anything is going to happen here. Still nice attempts, but unfortunately for him it didn't pay off at all.
Indeed, so we're going to be watching this long angle onto the breach that's just been opened on the main balcony, as now taking the swing is the Thorn. NT managed to find Roos as he is going to be making his way up those Visa stairs. 2 very low health players though now, as Exia has managed to equalize the man count, and those 2 low health players still remain on the board, Smoke and the Thorn.
Yeah, indeed. This brings us to the 4 versus 4 situation with still 1 minute and 50 seconds on the clock. Still damage on both of the sides, where luckily Eagle Empire did bring the Finka to just give those little health boosts to help out the team. So technically Eagle Empire potentially in the favor here, especially as they still have plenty of time remaining to do some damage. but at the moment, Eagle Empire, I think they're still playing on the top floor and just mostly approaching from the east as well, just peeling away those layers of defensive setup to make things harder for their opponent.
Indeed, almost a very nice long angle coming out of Exia onto that Thorn there, as he's just missing that bit on the left. He would be able to see the head if it was open, but Anakino going to be making his way all the way through that top floor. Armis finds one on that Dekebi, and nearly finding one is Anakino onto Tiro, as he is going to be just hovering around, but Armis on the flank manages to clean that up. It's a 4v1 now for the side of Eagle Empire. A very low health NT going to be remaining on the board, as he is going to be holding off this highway area. The breach being opened inside of the long corridor, and Exia going to be making his way through the site, getting the plant down on that rotate. He is going to have to come in and try and deny this NT if he wants to get a round win, but it's a 1v4. It's a scary situation. Armis swings the corner and takes him out with a few quick bullets to the shoulder, and that's going to be Eagle Empire with their first round win of this game, bringing us to 2-1.
Yeah, exactly. Again, what we were hoping for, close games. I mean, of course, it's still EOS here in the lead, but the 2-1 score is showing that Eagle Empire at least can do something against EOS, and gives me a bit of hope that this match could become very close between those teams. And also one thing, Nash, you were earlier talking about how one of our casters is playing. That's of course Freddy for Team EOS, but we have another caster playing. It's caster versus caster. It's Exia.
Yeah, Exia. Yes, a caster, but also an admin for the ESA Cup.
Correct.
So, a bit more of a standing, and I think people would probably end up kicking off due to bias if there is an objection coming out of their team. So, I don't know, man. We gotta see how the game plays out, but at the moment, I mean, only really 2 players on the side of ELS stepping up so far, whereas it's a bit more widespread on the side of Eagle Empire. So I think in order for EOS to really maintain their lead here, they're going to have to try and bring a couple more players into the mix. People like Freddy G, Nesto, maybe even Lennox finding a couple more for himself, as he has only found 2 so far. So on the side of Eagle Empire, you've got Kodaf just now making his way into the game with that 1 and 2, Holes who's 2 and 3, and then you've got 3 and 2 on both Exia and also Armis, so only 1 player remaining on their side without a kill.
Yeah, Anakin kind of playing as young Skywalker, just waiting for him to grow up and become the General Skywalker, as we know, very effective and very strong. And Anakin, yeah, just waiting to actually make his move. Freddy already getting damaged quite a bit very early on in this round, and but still managing to get out alive, which is very important, of course. Nate's being thrown to potentially deal with some bits of utility, potentially the new gems who were placed there, but then also the ace charge already being activated to open up the garage door nice and fast, which will provide some nice opportunities here for Eagle Empire to attack the bomb site.
Yeah, I've said it a few times to them that they can switch around these roles on the side of Eagle Empire if need be, if a certain player is feeling themselves more than another. And I've also said that when it comes down to your frag potential, Anakino is one of your top and one of your leaders, but obviously having a bit of a quiet game so far, but they have put him on this Finker. So they're obviously taking my advice at least somewhat. The first goal coming out from Bruce as he gets the swing on Freddy G, who's hovering around inside of Piano. The peaks on the door going to be a little bit of a point of contention between Kodaf and Tiro, as they're just going to be throwing some flashes through and seeing if we can pressure him away, but he's going to continue swinging as N-Team finds 1 for himself and Nesto finds another. Looks like Anakino getting himself on the board as well, so Nesto and Anakino are going to be getting their first kills of the game.
Yeah, 3 versus 3, Eagle Manka with 1 minute, just over 1 minute remaining, and various attackers just already inside of the building, I believe. Logical coming out, potentially exposing the location and disrupting some communications here from the side of EOS, while the members of Eagle Empire are trying to make the move and trying to get closer and trying to get a hold of those players.
They're going to be getting aggressive here onto the site hatches. He's just going to be taking a peek onto Yellow Door, but more than likely wants to take this engagement against Anakino. Sees the man for a second, but isn't able to find anything. Anakino takes the swing as he's reloading, but isn't able to get the peek quick enough for himself. The Kevi from behind, managing to get a few shots in, and Anakino takes the swing in the chaos, manages to find that for himself. C4 rings out from below, isn't able to find the kill, but Nesto does, and now we're in a position where it's Finker and Ace versus this Mute and Azami We're going to be seeing them have a bit of contention onto the main breach, and a beautiful shot from Exia on that long angle, as now we're going to be seeing this 2v1. It looks like the Mute wants to try and take the swing, manages to get the down on Exia, and that's going to be perfect for him as he finds the second onto the thinker. Lennox winning out the round for his team.
A huge clutch for Lennox. They're just saving the round for the team indeed, and adding another point to the side of EOS, putting them on a 3-1 score. Nash, I always have been curious, like, what's the whole meaning of the EOS, like, logo and their name? I just did a little digging, because of course that team, for people who might not know, is actually owned by Stucky, who's like, of course, like a content creator, caster, board member. He's a bit of everything, you know. But after it just gave me like a huge text of explanation. But apparently it stands for Einfach Orangensaft, which means only orange juice. Apparently, it's a bit of a meme apparently from back in the old days, and like it started on like a drunk day where they decided to go for the team name, and that's also why the logo apparently is a glass of orange juice. Now we know. I was always wondering, and I always forgot to ask him.
Damn. Well, I didn't know that. Very interesting. They're up 3-1 right now, and it is looking very good for them. But as I said, they managed to get Nesto on the board. Nesto's found 2 kills for himself in the last couple of rounds, and we're going to be seeing a bit more of a presence coming out of him. But on the opposite side, we've also seen Anakino get his feet in the water. So we're going to be seeing how this little matchup happens and how it ends up going. Obviously, with Consulate being so new and so, majorly changed, it is going to be very defender-sided for the time being. So more than likely, we're going to be seeing a 4-2, maybe a 5-1 split, which is pretty much to be expected. And I think that it could definitely flip the opposite way once we see Eagle Empire take the defense, but we'll have to wait and see because, well, EOS have been pretty formidable in the past, and they are seeming to be the same way this time around. Nesto finding another one onto his counterpart, Anakino. Both of these players getting their feet into the water, and Nesto saying he's better.
Yeah, that's Anakin already taken care of. I mean, we saw Nesto just slowly waiting for the wall to be opened and waiting for the player to expose himself. Even has diffusal control, which is huge for the defensive side. But that's good of the finding Anti, taking him out, evening out the man count and bringing us to a 4-versus-4 situation. But like I said, the diffusal lost on the balcony. That's a huge thing here for the side of Eagle Empire. A big loss for them. And especially as Nesto gets another kill there on Amis. They find themselves in a 4-versus-3 situation with the diffuser in enemy territory.
He does, but Koda finding one from below onto Nesto is going to be very good for the side of Eagle Empire, but what isn't good for the side of Eagle Empire is losing your thinker, and I mean, those adrenal surges, a few of them were used, but Lennox finds another onto Roos, and now one more through the vertical angle that has been made by the Buck himself. Tiro finds Koda, and that's going to be another round, 4-1 so far to the side of EOS.
Indeed, so 4-1 score. Things are really going in favor of EOS so far, where Eagle Empire is unfortunately staying behind. Something that is somewhat expected if we take a look at the predictions from the community, but at the same time, the way stronger Eagle Empire lineup that they have brought this season also gives me a bit of still a bit of expectations and still a bit of hope that they still might be able to work on a comeback here. This will be the final round for the offense, after which we do see the Rosso happen, but they will switch to the defense, which might help them out a little bit, but it will be very favorable if they can at least get one more round on the board to still make a potential comeback happen with a 4-2 split, as that's the best they can do at this moment.
Yeah, I think the side of Eagle Empire are definitely a team that have a lot of potential, which is why I accepted becoming their analyst. And I just think that they haven't managed to iron out a lot of these issues, which is like primarily the reason why they were losing in the past. And I think that as of recent, obviously it's not really been shown too much so far this game, but they have been really sort of fixing a few of these problems, and it's really becoming well, just a learn for them as they have been in their scrims. But obviously 4-1 so far isn't looking great for them, but if they can come out of this round with a win, they can go on to the defensive side half.
Did you see our producer trolling just now, like just earlier? The text appearing on the screen.
Drone activated.
Did you see it?
No.
It was like saying apple juice is better Of course, it's like directed at EOS, the orange juice. But yeah, either way, nice troll there. Well, meanwhile, we can already see Kodev already making a quick entry, already ascending these surface stairs, getting ready for a very early engagement, just waiting for some kind of information, some kind of call, so he can make his move. But Anti is playing very close. Here's the shots that were directed at the camera, so he now is aware of the enemy position, is just waiting patiently for them to make a mistake, to expose themselves a little bit too much, because in the end, he's a defender and can just patiently wait while it's all up to the attackers to make their move.
Empire moving very fast through this admin side. They managed to get 4 players pretty much all the way in already. The flashbang flies in. The Buck nearly able to find the kill for himself if he didn't have the flashbang in his hand, but now he's going to be taking the swing round. But there's players everywhere, and it's going to be a bit of a bloodbath now as Kodaf finds one for himself, but Tero finds one in return. The Zofia are going to be watching that angle, but Freddy G finds the refrag, and it looks like we are going to be seeing a bit of a war on this top floor right now, as it looks like EE want to try and push it even further forward.
Yeah, both sides suffering various casualties, bringing us to the 3 versus 3 situation with just over a minute remaining. Defenders technically in their favor because of that, but heavily being contested at the moment by the members of the Empire. But the C4 from Lennox takes out 2 players at once, leaving Russa all left standing in this 3 versus 1 situation. Position known, quite a bit of damage being dealt, still finds the Frost, takes her out as well, puts himself in a 2 versus 1 situation, which is technically still very much possible for him, especially with the time remaining. Might just find the smoke right behind the piano, 2 players right behind the piano, but unfortunately no shots landed and quite a bit of damage dealt there on Russ himself. Frost trap, luckily spotted out just in time, but those smoke canisters being thrown in this position could take him out just within a second of entering it, so he needs to be extremely careful, and Smoke is doing a great job of denying him any room whatsoever to play with, as the smoke canisters are basically cutting off any available rotation available.
Not bad from Rooster, as he's managed to deny all 3 of these smoke canisters, get them all out as quickly as he can before the final 30 seconds, but gets himself a little bullied on that off angle there from the Pulse. So 5-1 half for the side of EOS, and it does look very good for them, but one thing I will very much say is, as this is a new map into the rotation, technically with the rework being so diverse compared to how it has been, it's very defender-sided. So I imagine that we will be seeing EE be able to bring a few rounds back for themselves on the defensive half, as they bring along these power operators of, well, the Azami in the back.
Yeah, like of course we have only seen it in Eagle. What was I about to say? In ESA season 7 once before this map, where it was indeed also defensive favored, 55% for going to the defense versus a 45 towards the offense. So there's a good chance for Eagle Empire to still get some rounds here on the boards. But the question is, isn't it too late? 5 rounds on the board for EOS, only 1 needed to bring themselves to match point, and 2 needed to end the match in their favor. I'm a little afraid for Eagle Empire here, but of course it's not over yet.
Oh, definitely, I'm very afraid for Eagle Empire right now. But points are points. If they're able to bring it to overtime, then that's exactly what we're looking for, and well, what they're looking for, I guess. But I mean, as of right now, we gotta focus on it round by round. So this is something I've very much established with them, and that's exactly what they're going to be trying to do. Tiro are going to be bringing along this Monty. The man's 7-3, so he is going to be feeling quite confident, and I wouldn't imagine going on this Monty would be the most powerful play. The Pulse going to be hanging around that bottom floor though, and I think he's very aware as the drone comes sailing through.
Yeah, indeed. Attackers is mostly gathering information, just finding the pools, one of the big thorns in their eye, which could really disrupt their offensive round. But Tyra already finding Kodev after some great drone work from the team, just chasing the pools, gathering that information, and then it's the Monty even going in for the frag, which is a bit unusual, but it works very well here for the side of EOS, and it's a great opening kill there.
Indeed, as now he's going to be just making his way up those yellow stairs. He's positioned at the top. He's spotted out this Azami now, as she's going to be throwing an impact grenade. Doesn't destroy her Kiba barricade, but does manage to get a bit of damage onto him as he does make his way through. Nothing detrimental onto the Monty as of this very moment, forcing him to have to crouch through this doorway now, as he has unfortunately downed on the site and we are going to be seeing a very well-played round coming out of the side of EOS. Now, XE are going to be the last man standing as a second nade sings true and finds that frag. He's going to be running through into long desk and finding empty, positioned around, standing in the top of Spiral.
Yeah, EOS now securing their 6 point, putting himself on match point, which is of course a great position for them for now to be in, and it was a beautiful round from them either way. So 6-1 score, match point for EOS. They only need one more round here on the boards to secure this match in their favor, to secure the full 3 points, while Eagle Empire is in a very tight position. They need to win the upcoming 5 rounds without losing a single one
Attackers
to
need
still
to
have a chance
locate
to
and
score some
defuse
points
as many
in the
bombs as they
overtime,
can.
which looks very unlikely. Isn't technically impossible, but like I said, it looks very unlikely.
Definitely not impossible, as you said, and an operator that I thought would be a little bit more prominent in this game is the Solace. Kodaft going to be playing it for the first time in this round, and I mean, it's looking a bit dire for Eagle Empire right now. I'm not going to lie to you. They're going to really have to bring something to upset the enemy roster if they're going to win out the rest of this game. They're going to have to pray those Frostnats do end up finding themselves a target, and they're also going to have to pray that Kodaft is able to put his gadget
to
to
locate a
use.
bomb and defuse it.
Yeah, indeed, and sorry. Yeah, sorry. As we now proceed to what is going to potentially be the very final round of this match, is really again up to Team EOS on the offense here to just find their way into the building and get those opening kills or find those defensive players. Armin's already getting damaged a little bit there, still, getting damaged a little bit, but then exposing himself once more, took eventually even the same window, and then getting taken out either way. And it's already the Legion early off the board, which is a very big loss, of course, as his gadget recharges over time, and therefore some of the utility is already going down the grave.
Indeed, we are going to be seeing them enter their way into this mid-floor. Kodaft still going to be hanging around somewhere, not quite known as of this very moment. Does find the kill through the hatch onto the knock, which is going to equalise the man count. But the man's 2 and 5, so it's really not an important kill. Obviously, it's going to be a set of those nades taken off the board, but NT manages to find the returning frag. Speaking of frag, it goes out, isn't able to find the kill, but deals a lot of damage. Anakino going to be struggling for health right now, as he does manage to find that kill through the floor. A triple kill now for NT, and if he's able to find the ace, that's going to be a hell of a way to win this game, as we are going to be seeing him power through, trudge along, back up towards the vertical angles, and see what he can do from there. Looks like he's probably going to go towards that CEO window and find out what he can spot.
Yeah, and then it actually has falling. Unfortunately, it's all coming down to Russell, who does find the kill there on Tyro. Brings himself technically in a 3 versus 1 with one player on the floor, who now has been revived, likely due to a frost trap. But the 3 versus 1 is still possible for Russell. He still has 1 minute, or at least the offensive side has 1 minute. Will not attempt to go for the plan, but decides to go off it. Gets exposed just in the wrong moment.
Doesn't know about the player on the window. Now he does though. Player on the far side going to be holding that crossfire alongside the player that's on the window, but he's going to be rotating through onto this long desk side. The wall is open, so he has to be very aware of what's going to unfold here. Nearly finds a shot onto the Andrew bathroom, but Lennox is the one to clean up the final kill of the game on the lobby area. Managing to clean that up, winning the game for EOS 7-1 now. A beautifully played game by them.
Yeah, indeed. It's EOS securing all 3 points for the team. Their first points for the team as well, which they could really use. Of course, the first week wasn't played by them, but these 3 points could be used very well by them. Where they now likely will be kind of like towards the middle of the standings of the group. But yeah, what a match! What a match! Great work here from EOS, and a little bit disappointing from Eagle Empire, but at the same time, it might also have been one of the more difficult matches. I mean, they are in a tough group, to be honest. To be fair, they are in a tough group.
Very powerful group that they've got themselves set in right now. But I mean, still well played from the side of EOS. EOS definitely had a much better game plan, and I came into that match a little worried for Eagle Empire, as well, the strats that they have aren't really set in stone. So it's like they weren't exactly expected to have a major performance, as they weren't able to develop any set strategies throughout any of the sites. So it's like realistically they didn't get the map they wanted. The performance wasn't there for most of their players today, and I think that overall EOS just played it so much better.
Yeah, just thinking back about those final 2 rounds of this match when EOS was playing on the offensive side, the amount of kills from to vertical lines of sight from below was just insane. Nades being thrown, verticals being created by those nades, even then shots being landed to those. Great work from EOS there, and also then the Pools who was playing in the basement, how they managed to find him and take care of him. They just did so well.
Yeah, that I think Eagle Empire, as much as they're disheartened by that loss, they're going to be looking forward to the future because they still have potential to secure themselves a top 4 placement. And with how it's gone for them so far, they're going to be really, really striving towards that, really trying for that top 4 placement in order to get themselves into the next stage. So, yeah, good luck to them. EOS managed to come out of that with a win, and they're going to be looking forward to the future to see if they can secure a win against Entropy in their next Playday.
Yeah, because of course the standings still need to be updated as the players still need to confirm the scores, but on Wikipedia I can already take a quick look on how things actually look right now. Team EOS just secured the 3rd spot in their group, like a shared second, third, fourth spot, as both Zach, Mafia, and Team EOS are all on 3 points. Then of course based on round difference, EOS takes the 3rd spot in the group, so they have secured a nice little spot for them in the group. While Eagle Empire, of course, still sits at the bottom, together with Entropy Gaming, who also has not secured a single point yet. But of course, like we said, there's still loads of opportunities for these player teams, as they still need to play all 3 games in total, as of course the first play week was cancelled.
Eagle Empire in 5th place right now on 1 round alone, I'm pretty sure. So it's a bit dire straits for them at the moment, but definitely not over yet. So, well, how next looking at is Mafia versus Zach Gaming. Do you have any opinions on the way you think that's going to go?
So in terms of team names, these teams are completely new, but we can of course quickly bring up the rosters here. I have it on my screen. Or actually, I think we can already bring it up on the stream as well, right?
Well,
I
a
think
little
that's
bit of inside information about Mafia is in RSX right now. They are playing in the Major League, as far as I'm aware, and
okay.
I've also been told that they are currently in 2nd place.
Because
so they're going to be very, very happy with that, and I think they're going to be a very big threat coming into this matchup against Zach, because I think I'm not quite sure, but I think LDL might also be up there. So those top 2 spots in this group are going to be very heavily contested between those 2.
Yeah, because of course we can see some very, very familiar names here. I believe, what was it again? Was it Trucker Clan? Yeah, I believe this is kind of like ex-Trucker Clan as far as I remember. Lots of French players here, just one Belgian guy, probably from the French side of Belgium. But yeah, we see some familiar names here on the side of Mafia Squad. Of course, a new team name, like I said, with some very familiar players. And then if you take a look on the side of the other team, which then is Zach, I believe. We will see that in a brief second from now. But I believe also there are some very familiar teams. Like, yeah, we see some ex-MVG players. We see some ex-Voten players. Mostly Germans with just a few... That's Austria.
Oh, maybe I'm wrong. I might have been fed misinformation.
And then
Either way,
one Italian player. But yeah, some familiar names here as well. This makes it just very hard for me to say which of these 2 teams potentially is the better one of them. I think this could become a very close match between these 2 teams, which actually makes me very excited about the match. But yeah, I can't really tell until we actually see what's going on with that match.
Well, speaking about actually seeing that match, we're going to cut to a short break and we're going to see you there, I guess.
See you guys in a bit. And welcome back, everyone. After a little bit of a longer break, we're now back with the final with the final match for today. I'm just going to keep things a little bit shorter than usual because the match is already ready to go and we can start very soon. So Nash, let's just quickly jump into the map ban so we can actually see what map is going to be played here by this final match between the final two teams of today, which is Mafia Squad versus Zag. So right below, we can see it. The map bans have been done already, and we're actually going to Cafe Dostoyevsky for the final map of today. So the Cafe Dostoyevsky, Nash, what do we think about this one?
Well, Cafe, one of those maps that I previously brought up as part of the Big Four. It's one of those maps that is very commonly strategized by a lot of these teams. A lot of these teams know how to play it. A lot of these teams have multiple strategies for every site and are really prepared to play on the defensive side alongside the attacking side and being able to bring multiple different rosters and operator lineups to the table. So I think when it comes down to a map like Cafe, it's going to be one of those matchups where we really just see like the match pretty much be decided on the team's on the fly adaptability, because it's one of those where they really need to bring changes to the table in the mid round.
Okay, so yeah, I believe the match is ready to go, so we can just start and hop into this final map of today, the final match of today, Cafe Dostoyevsky, where it is going to be Mafia Squad versus Zag. Quick introduction here of the map, a little tour, Cafe Dostoyevsky, a beautiful map, a lovely map, and I'm very excited to see this one for today. Let's head into the operator bands, Nash, where you can talk about the first ones to come out.
So for the attacker bans, more than likely we're going to be seeing a bit more of like an aggressive style of attacker bans, because it's quite a large map. Once again, similar to Consulate, probably going to see those intel bans, maybe something along the lines of Jackal. Thatcher's relatively pointless unless you're specifically oriented towards attacking that kitchen site. Knock, one to go off the board. One of those sort of intel denial operators that's going to be taken off the table. So on the opposite side, still very effective on a larger map. Something you want to try and take away is that intel or intel denial. So more than likely, we're going to be seeing intel/intel denial for the second attacker ban, and we see Jackal go off the board. So Knock and Jackal, two contrasting operators on that attacking side.
Indeed, and those are our first two offensive bands that we will be seeing for this map. Now we're heading over to defensive bands, while Solus would be one of those very common ones, but especially Azami indeed, especially on Cafe Dostoyevsky as well. We really tend to see her being played very well, and therefore also being banned quite often, and that's the second ban here from Zag, after which now we'll go back to the final ban from Mafia Squad, the final defender ban. I mean, it could be indeed a Solus, would be very, very likely. Other potential operators could maybe be like a Valkyrie, Mira coming out from Mafia Squad, and those
Solus is so good on this map.
This and it means that we will see her for today then.
Solus is a phenomenal operator on Cafe in general because of how destructible the map is, how well these sites are played with that and things like that. So more than likely we're going to be seeing potentially a Brava being brought to the table on one or two of these attacks as like a pocket operator to deal with this Valkyrie once they know it's on side from Iron. But we are going to be seeing Kenzie pick up this Solus operator in round number 1. I reckon we're going to see her like most rounds, if not all of them, because on every single site she is very, very, very well utilized.
Yeah, indeed. Expected to see her quite a bit in action today. Of course, it's Mafia Squad here on the defense, starting out on the top floor, where soon the members of Zag Gaming, ZG in short, all players having a nice game, like a clan tag there, which is very nice to see. Mafia Squad still having their old clan tag, actually, which is G8, which stands for Ghost Army. But they've now renamed themselves a Mafia Squad, and yet still need to update their gamer tags, apparently.
Yeah, they are. I was right. They are second place currently in the major of RSX. So, a very prominent team in a couple of these leagues, and it's one of those where playing in the major for RSX is a pretty big deal as is, but also being second place in that sort of dominant sort of area, it is going to be very good for the side of Mafia Squad, because I think they're going to be really showing that off in this matchup. And as I say, showing it off, Lessery falls to the gun of Iron as he is going to be on that Valkyrie, giving a quick spawn peek.
Yeah, even doing a bit of damage there to the Ash as well, and then as I don't even know how to name it, and the Solus gets a kill on Jawa. That's also the Gidlock being taken care of. There's two casualties already falling on the side of the offensive team, which is not gaming, which puts here Mafia Squad in a pretty good position of a 5 versus 3 situation. But as I'm saying, that Casello with a kill there on Tom, taking out the Frost, taking care of the Frost, and also the Ash getting ready to get in a very nasty position to potentially get a second kill for the team. And yes, indeed she does. She finds the ward, and it's Client taken care of as well. And now we're back to an even man count for 3 versus 3.
Yeah, falling on those white stairs going to be a very big deal for the side of Mafia Squad, but they have found another one, a double kill on the round for the Valkyrie of Iron. And now we're going to be seeing Kenzie going to be hovering around that cigar area. The drop from the skylight is going to be able to clear out the Solace, as now he's got full side control, making his way over towards White. The free fire almost finds the man, but Iron there to shut it down as he's on a triple kill for the round. Gets another kill is Sanzo from the opposite side, and that's going to be round number 1, going the way of Ghost Army or Mafia Squad, as they're now absolutely dubbed.
Yeah, that was the first round. Indeed, already being somewhat, somewhat convincingly for the team. It was going quite back and forth towards the end of the round. Some beautiful kills here, seeing in the replay, triple kill here coming out from Iron. Beautiful play there. But in the end, it's Team Blue, Mafia Squad, securing this round for the team. And we should now go to a different bomb site, of course, as they won the first one. And for this one, we're going to the kitchen bomb site.
We are going to be seeing the kitchen bomb site played as a secondary. Usually a primary for a lot of these teams, as top floor has become a little overplayed, similarly to how CC Cash has had that experience on Clubhouse. So with it getting to that point now, there's a few teams that are opting for this lower floor as their primary site. But a very versatile one, to say the least. One that is played in many different ways by many different teams. I know that this team, by the looks of things, is going to be playing very aggressively on that bakery side, which isn't often done anymore in the pro scene. But this team is opting to go for it anyway. No real Christmas presents. That was a completely different sentence if you interpret it the wrong way. On the side of this warden, he is going to be just opting to play around those white stairs instead and see if he can shut down any of these drones that are going to be moving his way. But a player's already made her way all the way through. It is going to be this Osa, as she is all the way through onto that Christmas area by the looks of things.
Yeah, indeed, and the Chenka currently here on the run, but almost being cut off, and still with the wallbang getting finished as well. That's the first kill coming out, but immediately another kill from the other side as well. Another kill that coming from Kenzie, bringing us to this 4 versus 3 situation in the advantage of the defensive team. Another real kill there coming to Kenzie, double kill for him, looking for the third. And it's now just a 4 versus 2 with only the Ash and the Ace remaining, still being able to do quite a bit of damage together with all the utility available. But either way, it will still become a very difficult round as there's double the man presence on the other side.
But the crazy thing now is the fact that there is presence inside of that Christmas area, as they've managed to completely contest onto this Osa shield. They found the frag and they've killed the guy coming down downstairs. Also, the Mozzie takes a swing. Klein going to be finding that frag on the garage door inside of White, and that's going to give them another round on this defensive side.
And the Mafia Squad being very convincible so far for these first 2 rounds, putting themselves on a 2-0 score. So, that bring this match in a good start to potentially win this match eventually. But hey, 2-0, 4 more rounds to go for them on this defense.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Yeah, it's actually quite amazing for these guys to actually be so dominant in that sort of fashion. They have managed to bring themselves to a second round, and well, round number 2 was even better than round number 1. So hopefully, for their sake, that trend continues and they're able to bring this even further forward for themselves in the rest of this matchup. Solace just going to be chasing down Dekebi's drone as she gets barricaded out of sight and isn't able to quite find it, but is going to be activating her gadget to allow her teammates to go find it for
10
them.
seconds to go.
And now, with the presence of this Solace being in the game, they are going to be trying to deal with all of this intel that they are going to be bringing to the table, and well, she uses an impact to deny that drone.
Yeah, seemed a bit unnecessary.
She's going to be able to spot out this Dekebi when she's making the calls, but she isn't going to actually be able to spot out anybody else. Ram's drones are completely mechanical, alongside the track stingers for the gridlock. Sledge's hammer isn't exactly electrical, and the Selma charge is going to be the only thing that she can really pay attention to. So, other than the diffuser, there isn't really much gadgetry in general that she is going to be able to abuse or really track around the map.
Yeah, drones and phones. Yeah.
A lot of these teams on a map like this have been comboing that Dekebi with the Lion, so it isn't a bad pick, to say the least, but it's one of those that, even with that 51-round mag, you could probably have chosen another operator and had a much more fun time.
Yeah, indeed. And attackers already like entering the building or getting ready to enter the building. Even the red wall already being opened, even though it wasn't reinforced. Still ace charges being used. But for now, just gathering information, finding out who's exactly playing on the top floor, what the top floor defense really looks like, because that will be the first line of defense here for the defensive team. And we already see
only one drone left.
Wow. Yeah, you're right. Solus did a real good job there, but at the same Solus did a real good job there, but even better are the defenders on the top floor who already got 3 kills in total, are almost getting a 4 with the Sledge being injured, and also Java getting heavily contested, while even still being outside of the building technically, as he's playing on the hatch, and then the Sledge being finished leaves Java all left standing in this 3 versus 1 situation. This could even become a flawless round for Mafia Squad, I was about to say, but then we're seeing a double team kill, C4 kill, but then still Kenzie is waiting to finish things off and still securing the round for the team, even though things seem to get a little bit tricky there.
The teabag, the toxicity coming out on that tertiary site as they have managed to get themselves up 3-0. That funny little C4 miss, managing to get 2 kills in favour of the side of Zach Gaming, and I'm pretty sure that's 2 of like 3 kills they've got in total, or maybe even 2.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a very, very interesting round. Very well top floor presence from the defensive side and being extremely effective up there. Not even really allowing the attacking team to do really that much. And well, yeah, beautiful way for them to win this round here. So yeah, 3-0. Mafia Squad seemingly unstoppable up till now. Some rounds did get a bit close, but especially the last round was very convincing.
You could say that Mafia Squad are exploding into the league. With their explosive performance.
Yeah.
10 seconds
I can't believe that. Like, you just dropped like 2 of your team, including yourself. That's crazy. Anyway, moving into round number 4 now, we are going to be seeing Mafia Squad return to their primary site, as they are going to be very confident with the rest of the game. Looks like Kenzie wants to go for a run on that pillared door, but looks like
oh no.
It looks like the Solace does decide to go out for a second and
have mercy.
Finds another kill. That finds that kill in the end. Sorry, the Ram going down, so that vertical pressure is going to be pretty much completely thwarted. But then again, there isn't any real vertical pressure that you can really get. So I think Ram is a bit of a silly pick.
Wow, the angle, yeah. Just Valkyrie, of course, being so damn aggressive and getting punished for it in a very expecting way, but still beautiful angle there from Karma, taking care of the Valkyrie and bringing this team to 4 versus 4 equal man count, which, I mean, makes things a little bit more possible for Zach.
Yeah, definitely does make it a bit more possible. They've equalized the man count. They're going to be seeing if they can take it any further forward, but the big threat on the side of Mafia Squad still stands. Kenzie on that 6-1 right now with that 51-round magazine in hand is going to be ready to take the fights against any of these players that they do see fit. The nade sings through, is able to find the frag, and that's going to be that man down. And now you're going to be left in a position where you found one more. It's a 2v4. You're going to be trying to get this round win here.
Surely they're getting the first round when you would expect, but then Senzo having a bit of another plan, finding one player, but immediately getting punished and refragged by Karma right there, leaving Klein all left standing in this 1 versus 3 situation, even falling or even forced to back to the floor below. Drone G4 finding Karma, who was attempting to go for the plant. What a kill there. Maybe some information from the team or just pure good luck and good anticipation, but either way, this brought him to this 1 versus 2 where the plant is now being attempted, but then finally Blessery gets that final kill for the team, secures that first round for the team and puts themselves on the 3-1. I was almost starting to feel bad for Zach, especially with that opening spawn peak, but luckily they have managed to set things right by securing their first point.
Yeah, beautiful read from the final player left alive to actually get that C4 kill from below onto the planter. But obviously wasn't able to clear out the clutch for themselves, and now it's going to be 3-1. The maximum they can go for is a 5-1 half, which, as much as it is very good, this is one of those maps where every team knows how to play it. So you're going to be in that position where Zach's going to go onto the defense, and they're going to be just as comfortable as you are right now.
Attackers have discovered the location of a bomb.
Wall reinforced!
Indeed, and as we're now proceeding to round number 5, it's still Mafia Squad, of course, in the lead with a 2-round advantage. With Zach Gaming finally waking up a little bit and potentially in the run for getting some more rounds on the board for themselves. They could certainly use it, of course. A 4-2 would still be somewhat acceptable for them, but a 3-3 is still possible and would be even more desirable for themselves. So 2 rounds to still make that happen, and we'll see how things go from now on.
Indeed, we will have to see how things go throughout the rest of this game. Obviously, Kenzie, before that round, was 6-1, and now is 6-2 after finding 0 kills in that previous round. So it could be going quiet here if we're not too careful on the side of that Solace, but still opting to go for it again. Going to be playing the similar sort of position as they are opting to play the same site. Looks like they're going to have that Frost on Pixel this time, but no one really pushing that direction. They're going to be probably opening the red wall as they have done in the previous 2 times on this site, but realistically no one is actually pressuring on those windows right now, which is going to be a really big detriment for Zach Gaming coming into the later portion of this round. It looks like the Solace does want to try and go for a kill onto Zello there, as he is just going to be sitting around outside droning. Does get spotted out, but manages to get the kill on the reverse angle, and now we're going to be seeing the Flores drones come through and isolate this Pixel player a little more.
Yeah, one thing is very clear is that things are starting out way better for Zach for this round. As none of them got spawn picked and none of them ended up being the opening kill. But then unfortunately Senzo does get a kill there on Gash, bringing us back to a 4 versus 4. But with Zach having a much better start, there's still a bit more of an opportunity for them here to still win this round or still do better compared to the previous rounds.
Indeed, Senzo falls as now we're going to be in a 4v3 situation in favour of Zach Gaming. They're going to be dropping their players down the hatches now, as a couple people have managed to make their way onto that cigar area. The Frost going to be trying to take a bit of an engagement as a Flores drone pressures are out of position. Jawa finds one onto Klein, and that's going to be another player falling, the Wamai of all people as well, which is going to be your active utility completely off the cards now, as you only have 2 guns remaining and no digestible, interchangeable utility.
Yeah, indeed, and now with a 2 versus 3 situation, 1 versus 2 situation, and suddenly bloody end of the round, instead of getting the final kill for the team, and Zach Gaming securing yet another round for the team. A 3-2 score right now. Zach Gaming really waking up and starting to score points. I can also really imagine a Mafia squad who has been playing very aggressive and risky in the first 3 rounds of this match is now starting to realize that they need to play a little bit more careful, a little bit more coordinated, and need to take things a little bit slower. Otherwise, they might continue to lose even more rounds because, of course, they got a little cocky when they reached that position.
It's exactly as I said, that mid-round sort of mid-game adaptability is going to be the real big deciding factor, and they've done 1 full site rotation and then managed to win twice in a row on that top 4 for the attacking side. So when it comes down to the rest of this game and how it's switched down onto this bottom floor site now, more than likely we are going to be seeing the pressure applied differently from the side of Zach Gaming, just the same way as they did on that top floor. So I think the adaptability is much more favourable on the side of Zach Gaming. The attack is going to be able to find these.
Yeah, indeed. And as we're now starting with the final defensive round here for Mafia Squad, the questions are really what kind of split score are we going to see? Will it be 4-2 score, and will they win here on the kitchen defense for the second time around, or will Zach Gaming win yet another round, the third in a row, just like their opponent did, and bring us with the 3-3?
We are seeing Gashto just standing outside, just watching that meeting room window, just to see if he can spot out a player trying to get a bit aggressive, see if he can make any presence for himself on that reverse angle, but nobody taking the peek, because now they're going to be opening up that garage wall just to get a bit of an entry onto this freezer. The Ace going to be opting to play on that side, and the Ash going to be moving all the way through to Brown Bar.
You know, attack is getting more and more control. They're starting to get ready to just open up some of those walls and really secure some further control for where to contest the bomb site itself. There are likely still a few roamers around. I cannot exactly tell at the moment, but I do think there must be some roamers around somewhere, and those could still provide some danger if the attacking team is not careful enough. They might just go for a nasty flank. Meanwhile, the wall is attempted to be opened up, but Wamai is tricking with his impact grenades, just smartly trying to deny the breach, but in the end, they managed to land the ace charge in the correct position to actually open up the freezer wall, which gives the attackers the new line of sight and entry point they were looking for.
Indeed, they are very aware that there could be these roamers on side, and they're just taking extra precautions to make sure they keep checking these stairs and keep themselves as safe as possible. They are just moving a little closer and just poking and prodding towards the site itself.
Indeed, nice drone work happening here from Gasho, finding the Mozzie, but the Mozzie, even though he was spotted out, Cello unfortunately unable to get the kill and getting killed himself instead. Now Ash, it's all up to her to go for that same person in the end. The small bakery still playing there, getting found this time. A nice little way back here from Gasho, taking out Klein, bringing us to 4 versus 4, but then unfortunately Oza is also losing a life to Clancy, bringing us to 3 versus 3 as Gasho then gets killing Tom. There's going kills from either side, 2 casualties on each side, and with the last 35 seconds now approaching, this round will likely end in one big bloodbath from either side.
As I said, that mid-game, mid-round adaptability, they are going to be left in a 1v3 situation once again. So many clutch situations being just forced for these teams as Karma takes a swing onto the kitchen double door, manages to find the kill for himself, and that's going to be the round over. 3-3 on the half for these teams now as we move on to Zach Gaming's defensive half.
That's a huge comeback from Zach. Of course, it was a huge accomplishment from Mafia to win 3 rounds in a row, and we were already having like a feeling this might be all done for Zach here. But Zach has been taking otherwise, and they have been proving otherwise by also doing the same thing, winning 3 rounds in a row and bringing us to this equal score of 3-3. Of course, now after the 6th round has been completed, we are seeing the roll swap happen where Zach is now playing as the defending team and Mafia Squad is playing as the offensive team. And it's one big question how things will be going here. Currently, of course, the momentum kind of working in the favor of Zach, who has won the previous 3 rounds in a row. But no one really knows what the roll swap will really mean for these 2 teams and their performance.
Yeah, these teams colliding so evenly head-to-head as we do see Zach Gaming on their defensive half. Going to be opting for that very aggressive freezer shield that we've seen a lot in Pro League recently. Those head holes are going to be basically acting in place of a mirror window with the little bit of glass in the shield to look through. And I think that could definitely be a very big factor towards the win for Zach Gaming. I'm surprised Mute didn't quite hear that drone there, just sitting right behind them as they are able to make themselves aware of his location. But yeah, that shield for the Frost inside of Freezer is going to be a very big part of this round if the attacking side do decide to try and make a bit of presence inside of the piano area.
Indeed, and with this first round of the roll swap, of course, we're also looking at the standings between these two teams. Both of these teams are currently at 3 points each, so this is a good moment for these two teams to make a little bit of a difference and, to divide themselves from each other. So both of these two teams are looking for the points, but we're now getting extremely close between these two teams, and just the attacking team getting ready to make their first entry, waiting for the right moment, and suddenly we'll be starting to put some pressure here on the defending team of Zag Gaming.
Indeed, sorry, I just muted there. I had to send a message to someone. I'm being asked about the Eagle Empire situation. But either way, we are going to be moving forward into this game. And with it being 3-3 so far, if Zach Gaming are able to get themselves a bit of a lead coming into this second half, they are going to be in a much more favourable position than what they were previous. But Iron has fallen for the Frostmat trick inside of the inside of the piano area, as he has just made his way through, opting for his teammate to actually get the res instead of self-resing in order to avoid the casualty. New effect from the self-res on Frostmats that slows you for 60 seconds. Nade flows through into Freezer, unable to find the kill. Looks like it was caught by a magnet with how long it took to go off. And Sledge going to be moving around to this Nubalk area. Plane does find one, though, onto Gashto, and that's going to be your active utility off the board from that one line, but you've still got active utility on side of the Echo and Smoke.
Yeah, and just 3 defenders still playing on side, 3 defenders in the way of the offensive team of Mafia Squad, but only 45 seconds to take care of those players. The first one is attempted to be found in Freezer, but unfortunately gets a kill instead. Is Jawa getting a kill on Kenzie, bringing things to the 4 versus 3. With the logic call coming out, defenders are likely to be spotted a little bit easier, but still, they find themselves in a very strong position. Also with the smoke canisters coming out, and the Echo drone still intact, and even stunning people, and the kills happening. Even Frost Trap getting a kill as well. Suddenly we find ourselves in 2 versus 3. Attacks have lost their leads, equalize again by taking a kill, but then Jabba brings the advantage back to the team by getting a kill on Tom and leaving Plane all left standing in this 1 versus 2, and again gets taken up by Jawa, who I believe got a triple kill right there for this round. Secures
Might have even been a quad, but I think yes, it was a triple kill.
And it gets a triple kill then, and secures yet another round for Zag Gaming.
Yeah, because there was 1 for the smoke, 1 in the Frostmat. I think there was 1 for the smoke, 1 in the Frostmat, and then 3 for the Echo.
Yes,
but either way, very big round from the side of Zach Gaming here. A team that was unfavoured in this matchup by both the community vote and also by the sources that I've spoken to in order to get some information about these two teams to be able to bring a bit more of a thorough analysis to this game. So it's looking very surprising right now for the side of Zach Gaming, and very, very good for them coming into the rest of the ESA Cup.
Yeah, indeed, and one thing that we actually had to skip with our intro being fairly short earlier before this match is actually the match prediction from the community, or everyone, like basically in total. For this match, a total of 15 people cast the vote, which is a little bit more than the previous matches, but it was actually an extremely close prediction. 53% going to Mafia Squad versus 47 going to Zag Gaming. Oh, it's even appearing on the screen in a very transparent way, but that was basically the prediction. It was extremely close between these teams, which is being reflected in the score that we are seeing right now.
Indeed, as we are now seeing the attacking side of Mafia Squad just getting themselves set up inside of that white area. Karma still doing the setup for that second floor, opening up the hatch on Cocktail, just seeing what he can do for himself. The drone's coming through on this white corridor. He is going to be seeing through the floor like who's going to be around in that area, but now the rappel is going to be a bit more prominent as he is going to be actively moving around. Thatcher has got his way in already, and now they're to be getting themselves into this second floor in order to be able to get these fuse charges off and maybe see if they can force a few players out and about around on the site and filter them around. But Gashto comes down the white stairs, managed to find a kill onto the Thatcher, and well, another player might be soon to follow as he takes the swing onto the white window and doesn't quite find the shots as the player falls off the angle. Now going to be just moving his way over towards the pillar side.
Yeah, within the first 1 minute and 20 seconds, 3 people in total lost their lives in this map. We now see various attackers entering the building. More and more pressure will be upon the defenders soon, but oh, there was Mai just waiting with his eyes on the fireplace, taking out the fuse, who will no longer be able to use any of his utility whatsoever. A big loss here for the offensive side. And then also the Mozzie losing his life there up top is just bringing this match closer and closer and run closer and closer between these two teams. A 3 versus 2 with still over a minute to go.
I like this play from the mute right now, holding the C4 in hand instead of just tearing it and throwing it, as it just takes away that extra sound cue that the attackers would be very afraid of and just try and run away from. The Wamai still playing very active around this this wedding corridor, as he is just going to be throwing some magnets around to create some nuisances for the attackers. The Ace going to be opting to try and take the peek on the window, isn't able to find it. The mute finds one more. Jawa, now we're left with just the Ram left in this situation, left to find 2 kills in this clutch, as now she's going to be taking the swing onto that breach, just opting to drone it quickly and see what she can find, but Flashbang sings through to try and get through that window and almost flashes herself as she tries to take the jump through the breach, dies to the mute. Jawa going to be securing another round on the side of Zach Gaming. Zach Gaming 5-3 on this defensive half.
And that's 5 rounds in a row as well. That's just insane. Zaf having such a bad start for this match, now doing incredible. This is like there's such a huge comeback from a 3-0 to a 3-5. That's just incredible. That's a great performance from the team. And yeah, also the fact they have been winning 2 defensive rounds now in a row shows they can do very well on the defense as well. Which puts Mafia kind of in the Mafia squad kind of in the position where we kind of play Zaf in the first 3 rounds of this match. They're starting to get in a tricky situation where they really need to start making some points and winning some rounds to still have a chance to potentially win this match. So Mafia squad kind of falling asleep for the moment, and it's really about time that they need to start waking up.
Definitely, I think on the side of Mafia squad, there's definitely going to be a bit of a mental sort of deficit when it comes down to the way they're feeling, because realistically, as I said before, it's half a mental game. You're in a position now where you're on the back foot against a team that you were favoured against in not only the social vote, as I spoke about earlier, but also publicly when I was speaking to a lot of these other sort of analytical figures within the scene. So when it comes down to how you're doing in this matchup as a whole, you're falling behind in a match that you're expected to win. And it is absolutely insane that Zach have actually managed to find themselves 5 rounds in a row. It really shows off the talent in these rosters to be able to perform like this.
Yeah, indeed. This is doing surprisingly well, and this could potentially be the round that they reach the match point, especially if they continue in the momentum they have gained so far. 5 rounds in a row could become 6. It's really up to I was about to say goes out maybe Mafia squad to go for the offensive round and make the dream happen, make it work, make their attacks happen, have a structured attack, get those opening kills, get those walls open, find those roamers, and just win the round.
Yes, as I said, that mid-round adaptability on that last round, we saw a 2v3, 2v4 in a situation. Oh, it was a 2v3. I'm just seeing it on the stream played back now. But 2v3, and in that situation, instead of being disconjointed, what happened was you had the Wamai rotate through prep into bakery because they knew no one was pressuring over that side. He rotated through the wedding corridor in order to be able to play on the kitchen double door / the big window on that freezer in order to be able to give a crossfire for the mute that was playing over in that area. And that mid-round adaptability from that player was the reason they won that round. And it's exactly as I said at the very beginning, they're going to need to adapt during this round because this is one of those maps that everyone knows how to play. Everybody knows what they need to be doing. Everybody knows the clear that they're going to be going for. But the only thing that really makes a real difference is that mid-round adaptability and how you structure yourself as a team as things unfold.
Yeah, but for the very first time, there's only less than a minute remaining, and everyone was still full HP, but that's coming to change right now. Tom getting a kill on Jawa, loads of damage there on the side of Mafia Squad as well. This round, again, will be one big bloodbath with loads of kills happening in a very short amount of time. I believe the attackers are getting a bit more of the control that they wanted to get from the top floor, but most of the defenders who were likely playing on the top floor earlier have already fallen back and are just waiting in the bomb site itself, where they're the strongest, where they can do the most damage, and where they can absolutely destroy their opponent. Because of course, yes, the attackers have the man advantage here, but don't be fooled. The time will definitely work in their disadvantage and make things extremely difficult. Even with this 5-3, they could still lose a round based on the time, because they with very little time they will need to go in blind, and with all the defenders waiting, this could end very badly for the attacking team. Blasteri with a kill, double kill of both Senzo and Kenzie. Suddenly it's the 3 versus 3. Frost being taken care of, but 2 kills on each side brings us to the 2 versus 1. Plans being attempted, Klein on the cover, but Salo needs to do for the team. He needs to find the kill, almost lands the shot through the wall bang, but unfortunately doesn't, and then gets taken out by Iron, who yet then finds the kill, wins the round for Mafia Squad, and finally breaks the win streak of Zach Gaming, who were on 5 rounds, but now don't get any more, and it's Mafia Squad now on 4-5.
Well, I mean, realistically, you can be as proud as you want of Mafia Squad right now, but I'm so disappointed in their performance, because the only site they've been able to win on Zach Gaming's defensive half is their tertiary site. They have 2 sites now that they have beaten you convincingly on. And realistically, you have to now make the turning point that they did in the previous half. So if you're unable to get a round win on this top floor or this bottom floor site, you're going to be in the bin.
Yeah, fair.
7-4.
Yeah, because the time management was really, really poor. They had such a little time remaining, and they were just lucky and to win their gunfights. Really, like it really came down to the gunfights, which of course still is an important aspect of this game, but it really came down to that really, and that's how they won the round in the end. Yes, they just won the round just in time. I don't think they could have afforded to lose any more rounds after that, because then it would have been a 3-6 score. So they might have just won the rounds in the right moment and might be able to turn the tide, as they're only 1 point behind their opponents. But still, yeah, the rounds wasn't that great, and it still leaves some questions on how they will do in this upcoming one.
Exactly, and now in this match, we are seeing them go back to their primary site. They are ready to take the engagements to the enemy team on the defensive side. You've got the mute, or not the mute, Karma on the smoke, playing very aggressively on this white window, but decides to fall off as mute is going to be taking his position. And we're going to be just seeing the attacking side try and do effectively the same thing they did before. They've got some drones in that lower 90 corridor, just to see if they can find anything for themselves, but Zello with the opening kill onto Toms is going to be the big, not deciding factor, but definitely a detriment to the enemy team. And with him still active in this pixel position, even with these players on side, then they're not really going to be able to push him out. They need to use this ace to clear the shield, because they have no other way of doing so. And when it comes down to the rest of the position, if they decide not to push piano, they're boned.
Yeah, indeed, that Ram drone sounded to be getting surprisingly close to the shield, but unfortunately didn't have the perfect reach to actually take care of the shield. But meanwhile, things are going on. Cello lost his life, but 4 members of Mafia Squad. What's happening here? It's just Senzo left standing suddenly. A 1 versus 4, and he's just getting finished off. Gesto getting that final kill, securing yet another round for Zach Gaming after they just lost 1 round after their 5 win streak, and they now find themselves on a 4-6 score. Match point for Zach.
Yeah, incredible gameplay from them right now, as they are now 6-4, guaranteed points from this game, even if it goes to overtime, and they're going to be going to their probably most comfortable site on the map. As much as their primary site is the top floor, this site as a whole is so much more favorable to a team that's willing to either opt for this bunker or heavy roam style play. You can't really play in between, so it looks like they are just going to be playing this very roam style oriented play with the multi on side, the mute on side for that roam pressure, and then also Zello for the intel denial, and more than likely it's going to be this one Mai and Castle that opt to remain around the site.
Yeah, and what now could potentially be the final round for this match? Of course, Zach only needs one more round out of the upcoming two to win this match, where it's Mafia Squad. He needs to win 2 in a row right now after, I was about to say losing 6 in a row, but no, losing 5 in a row earlier. They could still do it. They need to win these 2 rounds to make the overtime happen, but it's really up to this round really for them.
The crawl under the window. Either way, now we're going to be seeing the Solace make her way down white just to see if she can apply a bit of pressure to these players that are going to be trying to push in through this side. Gets flashed, decides to run back up in order to avoid the player that's going to be pushing, and is now going to be waiting for that peak and application of pressure. The impact goes out to deny the track stingers, and she's taking the swing. She finds the frag, and that's going to be an SMG-11 kill onto the ace of all players. Now they can't get a breach. They have to funnel in through these doors or the hatch, and if they do, they're going to get caught out by these crossfires. And realistically, if I'm on the side of the defense now, I'm trying to get back to site, because you've taken out that hard breacher, you've denied everything.
Indeed, the Harbinger gun is going to be very difficult for the attacking team. It's going to hurt their strats, especially also with Senzo losing his life as well. The Yana, that's a big problem. But then Tom luckily does find 1 kill there on the Solus. 1 pain in the ass gone from the defensive side, but still the man advantage goes to the defensive side at this moment.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. They are just in this position, in the driving seat of this game right now. They've managed to secure the kill onto such an awful player to deal with if he's able to get his utility down of the ace. And now you've also taken out an entry fragger, so you've taken out one of their gunners. And all they've got left is this Blank Watch and a Ram, who is only really good if she plays vertically and has to play horizontally with the rest of her team in order to be able to bring this to a round win. Karma going to be opting to move into Coates, almost gets caught out by the player on the far side. Kenzie finds 1 in the site itself, but Jawas want to respond. Now we're going to be seeing a bit of an engagement and a scuffle between this Ram and the castle inside of the brown bar and Coates. And I really just don't know what else the side of Mafia can do other than actually just 2 kills and an aid. It's entirely gunplay alone.
Yeah, a bit of a surprising round and there, but well played from Mafia. Really nicely done to still secure this round and still have a chance to win some points in the overtime. It's now a 5-6 score. They're just 1 point behind on Zach. Yes, Zach is still here on the match point. They still need that 1 round to win the match and score all 3 points. But Mafia Squads at the same time also only needs 1 more round to bring us to a 6-6 and secure that match point, or that overtime where the match then gets extended for a maximum of 3 rounds.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
It's absolutely insane that they are doing this well against a team that realistically has shown such dominance in other places, but now it's kind of fallen off. They have a very even spread of kills, but no one's really stepping up on either side to really put a dominant performance in. I think the moment someone does is going to be sometime soon, potentially even this round, and we could be seeing it close doors, close the curtains, end of the line for one of these teams in this match.
Yeah, this round will be very important for either team, and I'm very curious to see where things will be going. I mean, the Mafia Squad winning 2 rounds in a row? No, 1 round in a row. They have won 2 offensive rounds in total, where then of course Zakim has won 3 defensive rounds in total. So this could yet again become a 3-3, just like the first half, where we then will see the ultimate decision in the overtime. But if Zach, of course, wants to end the game as quickly as they can, and they will do everything in their power to not give any room to the attackers here.
Indeed, they are just running out that wide corridor. They managed to find one onto Gashto, and soon to follow is Zello as he overswings a little bit on that window. And now they're just going to be making their way in entirely through this white side. But it's not the first time that Zach have been on the back foot, even in the middle of a round, and they've managed to come out at least once with a round win. So if they've done it before, they can do it again if the other side, if the side of Mafia Squad isn't careful, but they have managed to find another. Glessery finds one in return, and now we're looking at a bit of a turnaround. C4 swings out, but doesn't quite make it into the position that they're aiming for. Drone taken down, and breach going to be opened on that white side. They do get a kill on the double door, but the kill is also returned. The player inside of the corridor is going to be moving through, managed to find the kill onto Ash. It's just going to be Blessery left in this situation. Is he going to be able to see the planter? He should do. Does get a lot of damage onto the ace, manages to get the down secured, and it is going to be a 1 versus 1 in this post-plant situation. And Clay finds the kill for himself. Secured points on both sides as we move through overtime.
That's overtime secured. What a match this is. It's going to be the ultimate decider with the upcoming 3 rounds. Whoever wins 2 out of those 3 will secure 2 points, secure a win, while the loser still gets paid off for their efforts and will at least still get 1 point. So either 2 teams will still be happy to get some points here, but of course the winner is still the happiest, as the wins are way more important in terms of the tiebreakers, and also in terms of the points that you will earn, of course.
Yeah, definitely the case. I do sincerely agree, but we are going to be looking at our first overtime matchup in this group. So, very excited to see how this goes. I think it's our first one. Yeah, it is our first one. We've only seen regulation wins in this group so far. So we are going to be seeing, as I said, the first overtime matchup in this group. So
10 seconds to go.
Definitely as close as it can be.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. If we also look at the other groups, the groups in general are pretty close. Lots of overtime matches, which all brings the score so damn close. There's no one really standing out too much. I mean, there's some on. Like, there's no one on 9 points at the moment. 9 points would have been the maximum that teams would have been able to achieve by now. But not a single team has achieved that yet, which is a good thing in my opinion, because it just means sure that the competition is way closer than before.
Yeah, definitely, I do agree. But as we move into the first round of this overtime, we are going to be seeing this best of 3 take place, as we are seeing the sides remain the same. Zach Gaming going to be staying on that defensive side for the first round of overtime, so they do get 2 rounds of defense maximum, and well, Mafia Squad only actually get 1 for themselves. And with Zach Gaming losing 2 of their bottom floor sites, it is going to be a bit scary for them if they do manage to get to it.
Indeed, and there falls the first. Is Sanzo losing his life to the gun of Xello, who's playing as the Frost. The first member of Mafia Squad therefore losing his life, and it's also the Ram, who can no longer use any of her utility at all. A nice little drone footage here from our drone pilot or helicopter pilot. This is a beautiful way, of course, to see all the players playing on the rooftop. And then it's Claim getting the first kill, taking out Gasto, bringing us back to an equal 4 versus 4. But Tom's unfortunately losing quite a bit of HP, which will make any gunfight tricky. And a jump out actually happening with the shotgun. Frost gets the kill on the repelling gridlock and still manages to run all the way outside from the building. Manages to get back to the building safe and even gets a kill on the Sledge. How is this allowed to happen, Sledge? This shouldn't even happen. A 2 versus 4 right now in the favor of Zach Gaming. What a play of Xello.
Xello, no way. Flashbang goes in to Cocktail, as now we're going to be seeing these players just really try and take the fight to the enemy here, as Karma actually gasses his teammate here, as it looks like the Flores wants to try and take the swing into Cocktail. Doesn't quite find the kill at first, but does get the down onto the smoke. The diffuser not in hand, as it is going to be getting defended by the defender over on the opposite side towards Cigar. Mute finds the kill from long range. Blessery going to be getting that kill from the bar side, and that's going to be the first round of the overtime going in favor of Zach Gaming.
I'm a little speechless about what just happened. Like, literally, the Sledge got like the best kind of wall hacks you could potentially get in this game, and somehow managed to fuck up against a Frost who was literally 1 shot. How?
Yeah, bro got an old lion scan and still just
That's
fumbled the bag.
Yeah, that was a very, very surprising action there. But hey, either way, it's certainly is very welcome for Zach there, who now secured their points. Either way, Of course, it also works as a little nice time waste there for them. But yeah, okay, interesting.
Well, if you're on the side of Mafia Squad, your balls are sucked into your stomach and your cheeks are clenched. So you're going to be trying to see if you can come out of this with a round win, because if you can't, it's done, dusted, over, end of the line. As I said previous, game, set, and match for this matchup right here.
10 seconds to insertion.
Well, as it's Zach Gaming finding himself on match point once more, like they have been before. They're just again one round away from potentially winning this match for today, this final match for today. It's really up to Mafia Squad to win another round to bring this to an equal 7-7 overtime match points. And they need to win 2 rounds in a row, of course, to actually win this match. So Mafia Squad in a bit of a tighter situation where Zach Gaming must feel a little bit better about themselves at the moment.
Definitely, as they actually be approaching the building, and nobody has died to a spawn peak as of this very moment. No runouts on that garage door, so it looks like we are going to be seeing Zach Gaming in a very good position once they actually reach the top of this cafe, and they're going to be trying to get some pressure in and onto the site. Klein, they're only Klein stepping up in the previous rounds has been a pretty big factor for the side of Mafia Squad, actually securing a few for themselves, but the side of Zach Gaming just really showing their worth here is now going to be seeing a potential engagement between Zello and the Valkyrie on the white stairs now.
Yeah, there's just a player just right in front of him, the Valkyrie. She knows and she finds him. She finds the head of Zello, takes him out. The sledge taken care of. Opening kill from Mafia Squad. Also the Ash being injured and then being finished by the explosion on the floors. A bit of a unfortunate thing there happening. But yeah, this is now 5 versus 3 in the favor of Mafia Squad. Exactly what they need since they're behind 1 point and their opponent is on the match point. And also with Jama falling to the side of Senzo. This is a perfect run for Mafia, which surely should go to their favor, right?
Surely it should, but will it? We don't know. Only time will tell, as now there's still 1:20 on the clock for these two players to actually try and bait out a couple of these kills. If they're able to bait out a couple of these kills on the hatches, they are going to be able to get themselves in a much more favourable position. The Fenrir is getting a bit aggressive now as he does take the hatch drop onto the cigar area, but takes a bit of damage trying to come up red stairs from the trap stingers, and is now going to be taking the engagement. And as I said, baiting out those kills is going to be a very big factor into Zach Gaming managing to pull this back now, as the hatch drop is coming out from Karma. Karma's going to be making his way through, but he has to deal with this player inside of Cigar, alongside this player inside of Piano. Manages to secure one for himself, and that's going to be very good, but are you going to be able to take it any further? Especially considering you've got this Frost on Pixel, and you've also got this player sitting around. But the player sitting around gets cleaned up. Karma on a triple kill now, as he is going to be trying to make his way into Piano.
Yeah, I've seen this one before. Mafia Squad getting too aggressive when they are in a favorable position, and this is currently not paying off. They're getting punished heavily for it, as they now find themselves in a 2 versus 2 situation and losing that heavy advantage that they used to have. This might still work out for the attacking team, but there's very little time to work with. The Frost gets found. It's a 1 versus 2. They can't go for the plants. It's all coming on the Klein, who is in a very good position to potentially deny this plant, but unfortunately, no. The ace is hidden. He doesn't see the plant. The plant goes down. The timer now starts ticking against the defender, who now needs to attack his own bomb site. Finds the 2 attackers, sees them, but unfortunately doesn't land the shots, doesn't get any kill, and the time position is now known, and the attackers know exactly what to look for. This is a very unfavorable position, and he gets taken out.
Zach Gaming in a 2 versus 5 managed to secure the round for themselves and secure the match. 2 points to Zach Gaming and 1 point to the opposing side, the favoured side of Mafia Squad.
What a match. Wow. Like I said, I have seen this before. Don't get too aggressive when you're in a favorable position. A 5 versus 2. Yes, you should technically win this. It should be an easy one, but don't throw it. Don't get too aggressive, because you see, this is like the proof where it gets you. It gets you nowhere. It's not good for anything, and especially in this position. Your opponent is on match point. You need the rounds. And yeah, this is like the perfect way to get punished. I think this is a well-taught lesson for them.
I'm so bewildered. That is such an incredible round from the side of Zach Gaming. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that. coming to fruition. I've seen ace clutches, yes, but that's in Pro League. But in the ESA Cup, that has to be like the play of the game,
Yeah.
the play of the cup so far. That was insane. Very well played from the side of Zach Gaming.
Yeah, a
And-
beautiful. Yeah.
Sorry, I was just going to say, unfortunately, the replays are broken, but that would
Yeah.
have been insane to watch. That would have been so much fun.
Yeah, luckily we have the VODs, of course. There's always the VOD that you can watch back, and you might even see some clips at one point. But luckily, the footage will still be there to watch. But yeah, with the schedule updated below, we can see all the scores for today. But even better way to see the scores of today would indeed be the standings that actually shows us how the things look here for Group D right now. Because again, of course, to remind you, Group D hasn't played week 1 yet because of some issues with the servers of Ubisoft. So that one is still to be played. So they have only played 2 matches as of today. But these are the standings as they are looking right now for this group. Nash, what do you think?
Well, with the way it's going at the moment, it looks like we have these teams secured at the bottom, which are Eagle Empire and Entropy. Just based on their round difference at the moment, EOS, if they do secure another win, they are able to get themselves a much more convincing round difference. But Mafia Squad going to be falling down into that 3rd place position with Zach Gaming overtaking them after that game. But look how close they are in that top 4. 3, 4,
Yeah.
5, and 6 in points. The
That's
bottom
good.
team can still take 1st place.
Yeah, indeed,
Involved.
that's looking very, very good. And also, if we just actually, I was about to say, if we look at like how they look like in total of the whole groups, all the teams together, of course, that's a bad analysis, as some teams already played 3 matches. But generally, Group G is kind of like in the top level of the standings at the moment. So that's also looking very good. But yeah, Group D taking more and more shape. We're slowly starting to see which teams might make it out and which might not. But again, Group D still has 3 matches to be played, so a lot of things can still change. But
And
if Eagle Empire and Entropy still want to make it, they need to start getting some points next week.
Sorry, I also wanted to add that
Mhm.
something we haven't quite established yet is
Mhm.
the fact that, as you said before, no team has secured 9 points.
Yeah.
But Linnets are currently sat on 6.
Yeah.
And if they come out of their next week with a regulation win, they could be the only team we have in the entire tournament to win 3 matches in a row by regulation.
Yeah, the only other team that could potentially still achieve that would also be Group B, who is playing on Sunday from my head, which will be Team Aspire, who is going to be playing against, let me just quickly have a peek, they're going to be playing against Windows Ski. So that's also the only other team who could still achieve that within week 3 of ESA Cup Season 7. But besides that, there's no other team that could even do that. And if they also don't achieve to manage to do that, then the standings will look phenomenal for all of the groups.
Well, that's the game's over. Phenomenal gameplay from every single winner of today, and even both teams in our final game. So I want to just give a big shout out to those guys, and I hope to see more of them and even more improvement from the losing sides coming into their next games. I've been Naj. If you want to see more of me, as I normally say, please check me out, twitch.tv/Naj. It's pretty much the only place I am. I'd like to give a quick shout out to my rejects, and I'll pass it over to you to end us off.
Yeah, also before we end the stream, indeed, I want to just inform everyone that we will be back on Friday, of course, with the stream, which is where we're going to move to Group A for that 3rd play day, which is going to be Millions versus AGM, Pulse Nation versus Before Effect, and Element versus Sevens. It's a name change, Sevens Esport, was previously known as Yacht. So we'll be back on Friday, same time as usual. So for now, I want to wish everyone a good evening. I want to thank everyone for watching and participating. Also behind the scenes, Nanos, thank you for producing. And Stuki, thank you for observing. And for now, everyone, have a good evening. And we'll see each other later. Bye-bye.